Kent Holbein is who I'm talking about. And what he is he's an evangelist, if you would, for creation and stuff like that, telling how, God created the world and things like that. He had his own talk show. He had his own ministry, and through his ministry, he had trustees doing all the taxes and things like that. And he is not a tax protest or anything like that, so he wanted to make sure everything was done legally and lawfully. And it was done legally and lawfully up until supposedly about 2003, and then some other guy took over as a trustee or something like that, and they did the same. Everything this guy was trying to do was legally and lawfully, and when they came after him, they came naturally with the codes, and he knew the codes enough in court to say, show me the law that I broke. The codes that you're using don't show, because he's a minister and all that stuff, that he's done anything unlawful or anything like that. So we went through the whole trial of trying to say what you say. Show me the law, please. Show me the law. If I owe a debt, I'll gladly pay it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Like I said, I don't say, show me the law, show me the law. I say, yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of your law. Your law, not my law. Your law. I'm sure I'm guilty of your law. The only problem is that I live in a common law land, and I'm going to require you to put a man on that stand to testify that I owe a debt, that I'm guilty of anything. I'll agree that I owe a debt if you show me the bill, if you show me the man, if the man comes forward and makes the claim true. I'll pay it. If you say I owe a debt, and look over the prosecutor, you say I owe a debt, yes, then take the stand.
Correct.
Well, take the stand. Well, are you saying I owe you the debt? Well, no. Well, then who do I owe? The United States government. Will the United States government take the stand? Well, no. Well, then you know what? You call me up when they're ready to take the stand to testify that the debt is true. Okay? And then I'll pay it. I got the checkbook right here. I got the money in my hand. But somebody's going to have to verify that it's true. I'm not just going to pay because you said so.
That's right. I'm not sure exactly how he put that when...
I guarantee he didn't say exactly what I said. Yeah, I'm guilty.
No, I don't think he said that.
Right. I guarantee I owe a debt. I guarantee I owe many debts.
Exactly.
Who wants me to pay the debt off first? I guarantee I owe dozens of millions or trillions of debts. Yeah, but who's claiming I owe the debt?
That's right, and that's exactly what he was saying in the court.
He didn't say that. He said he's not guilty. Well, he says, okay, look, I tried to say last week on a show, the word for debt and guilt is the same word in German. So if you tell me I'm guilty, yeah, I am. I'm sure I am. I'm sure I owe debts. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure there's dozens of trillions of outstanding debts that I owe mankind throughout the world for services or products that were delivered to me, and I didn't give them a fair and just compensation yet. Fine. Not a problem. Where is the man that's going to come forward and say, I failed to pay him 22 years ago because he gave me air in my car tire? Exactly. Bring it forward and I'll pay him.
And this is what I try to explain. So there's a man called Ernie Land that is doing his, if you will, call it defense because he's in jail now. And that's what I tried to explain to this guy was, is this what was said in court? Is this what, and he's like, well, we used every defense we possibly could, blah, 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 and nothing seems to work.
Dude, there is no defense against the IRS.
Correct.
That's their case.
That's what I was trying to explain to him.
If you go into an IRS court and they call you a defendant, you ain't got a defense. You got no standing. You got no say. You got nothing. If you guys don't ancient, it's just simple. Like, let's not go back. Tens of that. Let's just go back to Roman law. A debtor has no standing in court. A debtor has no voice. A debtor has no say-so. All the debtor needs to say is, I am a debtor. Can all the creditors come forward so I can pay the debts? That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can't argue with the creditor. Just bring the damn bill and swear that it's true. And I'll pay it because no creditor will ever be dishonorable and bring forth a claim that that's true because he knows what's going to happen if he brings forth a false claim. He's going to be beheaded. He will die today.
That's right.
And that's the way it should be. That's the way it's been since mankind began. You bring a false claim into the public, you You bear false witness against thy brother. You died.
That's right.
That's
exactly
right. It's the law. That's right. He has no defense in a debtor credit court. You don't. Just tell the guy, good. You know what? Bring it forward and I'll pay it. I didn't know I owed him. All you had to do was send me the bill and swear that it's true, and I would have fucking paid him.
And from what I gather,
the party did not do that.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. There's a tape interview that he did with some guy from Forbes magazine called Peter Riley. And if you Google it, Forbes.com, Peter Riley interview with Kent Hovind, in that Kent goes through his whole case as to what they did in court and what he said and stuff like that. So
what I do in court, dude, what I do in court, my interview would take about 14 seconds.
Exactly.
That's what I did. Well, what else did you do? Nothing. I gave him a notice, put about, 11, 12 words on it, and the judge said, how do you plead? I think I got the notice before the court. Everything I need to say is in writing. It's there before the court. I'm just waiting for the man to come forth with the fucking bill. What? It's in writing, Your Honor. If you need leave of court to get legal lawful advice, if you need to take a leave of court so you could understand that notice, will take as long as you require, Your Honor. But until then, I've got nothing else to say. You know what? It's all there in front of the court at this time. I'm done. Well, then my interview would be so short, it would be the most boring effing radio, TV interview on planet Earth. Well, then what happened in court? Nothing. Well, what did they do? I don't know. They went on for fucking 3 or 4 or 5 fucking weeks about some crazy shit. I don't have a fucking clue. Well, then when it was your turn to talk, what did you do? I said, please refer back to the notice that I gave you folks 60 days ago.
Yes.
That's all I got to say. I'm done. There's nothing else to see. Oh, I guarantee you said, well, then we did this, and we said this, and we did this, and we put a motion, we put evidence and witnesses on the stand, and we bring forth the law that's true. Oh, it's crazy shit.
I'm sure that's what happened. I'm not sure exactly because it was almost 10 years ago.
Why would I want to watch a video of a man drowning?
Well, because maybe he gets some information as exactly what happened.
To learn what not to do?
No, because as we all know, we go into court and not having, like I said, the expertise that you have. He even said this in his interview that that's what they do. They wait for you to say a word, and you say the wrong word, bounce on it, and that's the next thing you know, you're sitting in jail. So I'm not sure exactly if that's what's happened to him, but the fact is now that they're trying to come after him again, and I've tried to get hold of this guy that's supposedly his friend or whatever to get in contact with you, so you might be able to send to him.
Like I said, I just saw somebody with an IRS case up there in New England. And I told the guy, you're going to go to jail. He's like, what? Because you won't stop talking. You put the notice before the court, they notice it, then they read the notice out into the open court, and you sit back and do nothing. And that's it. Was anything you say is going to be used against you. So why are you speaking for again? What's the purpose of you opening your mouth? Tell me.
To get yourself in trouble. That's about it.
Yeah. Just put the damn notice in and let it ride.
All right.
How tough is this? But no, you guys are so freaking smart. You're too smart for your own good. And that's the problem. He's so fucking brilliant. He's so smart. He's so educated. He's so learned. He won't shut the fuck up. And a smart man knows the best thing to do sometimes in life is to do nothing.
That's true.
Yeah. Sometimes the best hand in life is the empty hand. You know where I got that from? Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
Paul Newman. When he bluffed him in a game of cards. Sometimes the best hand is the empty hand.
Yep.
That's right. I don't need anything. There's nothing for me to say. There's nothing for me to do. You need to prove your case. You just need to bring the man forward and stand on that damn witness stand and say that I owe him a damn debt, and I'll pay him every fucking dime I owe him.
Yep, and I agree with you. And like I said, I had sent basically what you told me to this Ernie Land guy. But I don't know, because he's been fighting for so long, this guy thinks he knows too much or whatever, like you were saying, and doesn't want to listen. But it's like, dude, you got to go simple. You know, you don't need nothing, nothing big, a couple sentences here and there. But like I said, he wants to talk to a man that's had success. I'm like, well, I'm in the middle of something. I'm not having success yet because it's not over. But you know what? This is the most successful way I've ever heard. And I've gone through all the other crap of, Rod Class and all these other guys that are, teaching this, that, and the other thing. And what you came out with the other day about the Ohio case, where the judge said, you're not a bar member, so it doesn't matter what you put in, it don't work.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Larry sent that to me. And if you go to broadmind.org, I just put that on the webpage. It's the very first thing when they click on the webpage. I highlighted it in yellow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what I thought was amazing, the ruling from the court. I have never seen a ruling from the court, and every single word is in uppercase.
Wow.
Yeah,
that
so
is
nothing.
Great.
Yeah, so nothing's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That is,
I thought that was funny that every single word in that ruling was in uppercase. I never seen a ruling that was all in uppercase.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
That is really strange.
So like I said, and I highlighted it so people don't have to try to read. It's only one paragraph. Instead of people trying to find out, what Larry was talking about, I highlighted it in yellow. So you just go click right to the website, boom, go right to it, boom. And it's there.
No, that's awesome, because I was one of those guys that used to write pages and pages of stuff in there and put every tiny little thing in detail and stuff like that, and then have it rejected. And there's your reason, just like you were saying. Here's this lady who probably knew every law and trick in the book and put the best paper together.
Do you know why that's wonderful that they rejected her?
Because now we all know.
Okay, there are two good reasons why. One, it's going to stop people from arguing with me and saying, look, well, you follow their rules, you do like, what's that guy in Florida that has that website? He's an attorney, and he tries to do pro se litigants, and he tries to help people, and I got this mass email for this guy for the longest effing time.
Yeah.
And you know who I'm talking about?
Dr. Graves.
I can't think of his name, but I do know who you're talking about.
Do you know who it is, Larry? What's that?
Dr. Graves, jurisdictionary.
Jurisdictionary. That's okay. He tries to convince everybody does everything with these ridiculous follow the attorney steps. Do it this way. Do this, this. Okay, the reason why I loved what this judge said is because when I heard, there was this other guy, Cornforth, somebody Cornforth.
Yeah, Richard Cornforth, yeah.
Okay, he always uses Trinzi versus Pagliaro.
Yes.
Now, Trinzi versus Pagliaro was a little ridiculous case in either South Dakota or North Dakota, like back in 1962, 64, or something like that.
The land thing or something, right?
What's that?
It was something to do with land or something?
Right. It never made it to the United States Supreme Court. But it said something about, I'm trying to remember how Richard brought it forth, and it says absolutely nothing like that in the opinion. Not even freaking close.
Oh, yeah, he brought forth that it was something to do with, what was it? Not the plaintiff not appearing, but it was something like that they had to have.
I got what Richard used to say. Here you go. The Federal Supplemental 1964 229 F period supplemental period 647 1964. The United States District Court. Oh, here you go. United States District Court of Pennsylvania. So, I mean, I downloaded and I read the whole damn thing. And it's just not that much to it.
Yeah.
It goes from page 648 to page 649 in the supplemental.
Oh, wow, there's big.
Well, no, it's just 2 pages.
Oh,
648 to 649. It's tiny. And like I said, it's the defendant's motion dismissed for failure to state a claim unsupported by affidavits or deposition is incomplete because it requests this court to consider facts outside the record which has not been presented in the form required by Rule 12b-6 or Rule 56c. Statements of counsel in their briefs and argument, while enlightening to the court, are not sufficient for purpose of granting a motion to dismiss of summary judgment. So when he... Oh, shit, my phone's going to die. Wait a second. Like I said, this is following, like I said, when you use, okay, like I said, like when you see that,
Trinzi?
No. Even if it's Trinity versus Pagliaro, it could be the best citation that's going to support your case on planet Earth. It's the best that you could possibly find. Say it's the best one in the world. The only problem is you are going to put it into their case file, their suitcase. You're going to try to stack your crap into their suitcase. The only problem with that is they're going to do like Larry sent the letter back saying, you know what? You gave a lot of wonderful legal conclusions. You made a lot of legal, you brought a lot of citations. What I'm trying to say is, like, they say Trinity versus Pagliaro 1965 doesn't support unsupported fact, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. The only problem with that is if you're not a code decipher, if the state doesn't recognize you, is that you went to law school and that when you put it on paper, it is 100% accurate. See, because what I was saying, Trinity versus Pagliaro instead of Pagliaro, what I was Pagliaro instead of Pagliaro, they're going to say, you know what? Because in good law, if there's one mistake on that paper, that whole piece of paper gets thrown out.
Right.
If you one error. So what they're trying to say to normal people who do not have a bar card or not licensed through the state or whatever, they're trying to say to you, look, even though it sounds great what you're putting before us, when it's submitted by an attorney, we believe them at face value. We totally believe they researched it. It's accurate. It's honorable. They're not putting something in there that to be deceptive. When you did you people? Oh, what was that Robin Williams movie with that guy? And the guy was up in Massachusetts area. It was I don't remember the guy's name. It was
funny that North Russia is melting and the United States freezing.
Somebody's I can't hear somebody talking in the background, but what I'm saying it wasn't Goodwill Hunting or Good Hunting something or Will Hunting.
Well, Goodwill Hunting. I don't know if it was in there, but
yeah. But what I'm saying, it was a Robin Williams movie with that I'm trying to remember the other guy's name.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. And when this guy was supposed to be a brilliant math kid.
Oh yeah. He was the janitor or something like that, doing math problems.
Right. So what was funny is the kid came into the open court and tried to dazzle the judge with bullshit citations and case law and rulings. And the kid was just making it up off the top of his head.
Wow.
If you watch the movie, you watch the very beginning, you don't have to watch the whole movie, but just watch the very beginning when Matt Damon starts citing ridiculous cases off the top of his head in open court. And he said, like John Doe versus Smith, 1964, with the Supreme Court clearly ruled that blah, 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 blah. You know, the Massachusetts Supreme Court ruled in 1989, in Sam versus Spade, Section 372, page citation, clearly stipulates a da-da-da-da-da. So the judge, like I said, the kid, when he walked out of the courtroom after the judge dismissed it or whatever based on the citations and crap he used, and the guy said, none of those citations exist. That's all bullshit. He says, yeah, I just make the shit up as I go along, but don't it sound good? It got me out of this fucking building. So what I'm saying, a real lawyer would never do that. He would actually put down legitimate, bona fide, real, true cases because he swore to be honorable. He went to law school. He's got the ability to actually, I'm trying to remember that blue book that they use, blue something they call it. They actually find the newest, latest, greatest citations and codes. So they actually do the homework and actually do, but like I said, a Joe Average, like who was putting it in that state of Ohio case, she could have been making this shit up just to make her paperwork look awesome. It's like, holy, what does this actually literally say? What does it read? And it's like, holy cow, that's great. It's like, did a lawyer submit this? It's like, no. Matt Damon submitted it. Holy crap. Who submitted this? Matt Damon. Oh, shit. And so we actually got to read, Hale versus Hinkle 1902, or we actually got to read Trinity versus Pagliaro. We really got to go back and read this stuff and see, like, where was it? It was in the United States District Court? You mean it's not from the United States Supreme Court ruling? No. Oh, geez. Okay, well, the only problem in 1964, there might have been 18,012 similar cases throughout the United States District Courts. And that might be the only one that went that way. in favor of the plaintiff, favor of the defendant, whichever way it went. The other 18,312 went the other way. So are you telling me you picked a little district court out in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, over some land boundary or deed or some whatever the hell they were arguing about? Are you telling me that this has something to do with the case that's before this court at this time? Are we talking about a land case? What are we talking about?
Exactly.
And it's like, well, right.
And then you say, especially if you're in research and you don't know.
Right. Or you're just putting these legal conclusions, and like I said, like I say, especially when I read it from the prosecuting attorney and the state attorney, the actual attorney general of Texas. His name was Hernandez, or I think it was Hernandez, when they did somebody named Fox. I don't know if it was Michael Fox, Jim Fox, James Fox. Somebody down there in Texas got arrested for doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Basically, the attorney general said, look, you pro se people, you common people did it to yourselves. Because back in the 1960s, you guys started leaning up all the judges because you got decisions that you didn't like. In the 1970s, you guys started writing all kinds of site drafts, buying all kinds of shit based upon your birth certificate numbers. So you people basically did it to yourselves. Now, the court clerks won't take any shit from you people anymore. We won't accept your motions, your petition. We're not going to accept anything from you people anymore because you people did it to yourselves. You clogged up this court system back in the 60s. You clogged it up in the 70s. We're tired of your crazy bullshit. And you know what? The only way we're going to accept the paperwork is through an attorney.
Yeah.
So I'm like, good. God bless them. That's what they should do, because this stuff, when you read from the Attorney General's opinion, he said this is the most, like I said, I actually got involved with one of the people down there. He was from El Paso. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll remember his name in a little while. But I talked to him a long time. And he was the reclamator. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Tom Murphy. He was from El Paso. Yeah. And he sent me this tripe, this claptrap crap that they put into the court for this guy's James Fox behalf, or Jim Fox, whatever his name is, Fox behalf. And I said to him, look, let me go through this, and I'll redact everything that's not required for you to say, and I'll try to explain what I did. I think I worked on that thing. He sent it to me like at midnight, and I think I worked on it until like 2 or 3 o'clock the next afternoon, just out of kindness, because so many people were saying, you've got to help this guy. I redacted almost every single thing that, other than, the man's name was, he's saying like he was somewhere along it, he said the word man, Jim Fox, and I said I redacted everything else, and I explained why he was losing jurisdiction over to the government if he left these words in, the words that he used, how he was losing jurisdiction over his case. If he wanted to put a case in, you're losing jurisdiction over them by using these words in this form, and I explained in great detail. And I said, Tom, it took me like 18 hours to do the first paragraph. I'm not going to do the other 6,812 paragraphs. This is insane. So it's so funny when Attorney General down here in Texas wrote back. And he wrote back, and I got the email from him as well, and it said this was the most nauseating, ridiculous, like claptrap he's ever read in his life, because he had so many jurisdictional shifts just in the first paragraph alone. I couldn't figure out which way this guy was going with this case. And I said, look, Tom, this guy was at his court, then it was in the U.S. court, then it's a Texas court, now it's back to his court. I said, dude, when you're really reading this stuff and you know what you're reading, it's nauseating. It's like listening to a train wreck, but it's just saying this is a song, this is a music sheet, this is a composition. Dude, this is a train wreck. Like when I went over to England, Bali gave me the paperwork for his next door neighbor, a farmer who was being ordered by the county, well, it's called councils over there, to do certain improvements on his land. So Bali gave me the paperwork, and I gave it to Bali and said, did you read this? And he's like, yeah. I said, okay, do you understand what it says? So Bali read it. And he's like, okay. And he was done in about, 22 seconds. So then Bali gave it to me, and I'm standing there reading it. And about 15 minutes went by, and Bali's like, Carl? Like, are you still with me? Carl, are you reading this thing? Carl, I said to him, I haven't been able to get past the first sentence. He's like, what? I said, I'm trying to figure out how they're going to establish jurisdiction. The way they wrote this first sentence, they're never claiming jurisdiction over the man. They're not ordering this man to do a damn thing, and it's totally voluntary. I'm trying to see where you believe that they are telling him to do something. It's not here. I said, I'm looking at the first sentence. I don't need to go any further because it says right here it's voluntary. And I'm saying I'm trying to read every single way into that first sentence where you could possibly believe that it's anything but voluntary compliance because it doesn't exist. It's not here. The first sentence clearly says it's voluntary, but it doesn't use the word voluntary. It's the way they wrote it. It's the way they used uppercase, lowercase. It's totally up to him. Where do you believe in here that it says him to do it? Well, look, right here it says it doesn't say that. Where do you think it says that? It's not there. I said, you believe it's there, so you put it into reality. Nobody's telling this man to do a damn thing. He's like, but that's not what it says. It's like when you see like the Virginia codes when it comes to traffic, like all persons shall have a driver's license. That means sometimes in the future when the government has control over persons shall have driver's license. But until then, if you're a man, shall doesn't exist for you. And when I got stopped by a state trooper a couple of years ago, I said to him, I was driving my sister's van, and the registration expired, and I just got back from England, and it expired in December, and it was January. And the man said to me, I said, I shall get it registered. He said, well, then I shall return with the citation. And then when I said to him, I said, you do know what the word shall means, right? He says, yeah, we taught that at the police academy. I said, what does it mean? He said, sometime in the future. So I said, I told you sometime in the future I'll go get this thing registered. He says, yeah, but they still told us, even though it says shall, and we don't have control over you people, we still have to issue citations. I said, do you realize who you just told that to? Do you realize you're telling me that you do not have the jurisdiction or the control or authority to issue me the citation, but you did it anyway? And he was like, stood silent, and he shut up. He's like, He's like, yeah, because you just told me this even though we don't have control over man or what they do with their vehicles or their property, we still issue them citations so we can have some sort of control over man. Because man believes it. Right. But if man just read the damn law, he'd see that we have absolutely no jurisdiction or control over his movements or his property. And I said to Polly, where do you believe it says anything on this piece of paper that the council over here is commanding the man or ordering the man to do any damn thing with his property or the possessions upon it? He says, well, it doesn't say that.
And that's one of the biggest problems people have is reading and understanding and the punctuation and things like that, because that's what they like to do is throw that stuff at you, and, you know, it's a piece of paper from some lawyer or some court, so they got to be important and they got to know and this, that, and the other thing. But
there's nobody's name on it. Nobody created this damn thing. Nobody's ordering you to do a damn thing.
That's right.
Rugby Borough Council is not a man. Rugby Borough Council doesn't have vocal cords. You believe that Rugby Borough Council county is telling you to do this. You believe it, so you make it true. You make it so. You fight and you argue over something that doesn't even exist. Until you believe it exists and you believe it has power and control, you manifest it into existence, you asshole.
Yep.
Yeah, you're bringing it out of the second dimension and bringing it into the third dimension. It's just like those, I'm trying to remember that guy Kramer, whatever the hell is the guy who makes all those Scissorhand movies, whatever it's called, Friday the 13th, whatever. You're taking it from the fourth dimension and having an impact on the third. Yep. You're manifesting it into existence. You're fucking believing in it. You believe it's true. You believe you're witnessing it. You believe it has an effect on you. You're letting the stupid letter affect your blood pressure. You're letting it's dilating your pupils. It's increasing your heart rate. You believe this piece of paper has some force and effect on your third dimension, on you. I can see it. You're sweating. You're palpitating. It's a piece of paper with hieroglyphics on it, with a picture on it. It's almost like porn or whatever. Like, oh, you kidding me? It's a picture. Well, look at the picture. A picture of what? Who cares? It's a picture. Well, this is very damaging. Dude, don't look at it. What does it have to do with you? Walk away. Oh, well, I have to do something about this. Do what? Dude, it's a picture. It's like, dude, it's a dream. Get over it. It was a dream. It was a nightmare. Just get over it. Walk away. Forget about it.
That's right.
Bringing it into life. You know, and like I said, and I explained to people how to write back to whoever sent this thing. Like, IRS sent it to me. It's like, oh, okay, Mr. and Mrs. IRS, thank you for sending this lovely fucking correspondence, this letter. You know, how may I address you? Mr. and Mrs. IRS, how would you wish to be addressed? You know, I don't think we're formally introduced. Let me introduce myself. I'm a man. And who are you again?
Exactly.
Look at that. Nice little simple howdy doody letters. Hey, how do you do, man? Lovely presentment. Lovely document. Lovely. But Mr. and Mrs. IRS, you know, I don't think we're properly introduced.
And that's what I tried to explain to this guy, this Ernie Land guy, was that's who you want to go after. So he came back and said, well, some lady did testify, you know, about this, that, and that, and the other thing. I said, some lady doesn't mean nothing.
Did you ask the judge, is she testifying? And he will tell you, no, she's not. Did you ask? Or do you think you just saw the woman testifying?
That's right. And I'm sure that was not done.
Did you ask the judge, is this woman testifying? Because when I went to court with my buddy not too long ago, I asked the judge a simple question. Because the bank's attorney was in the courtroom. I said, are you accepting testimony today? He said, absolutely not. And there you go. And I said, well, then, let the bank proceed, and you proceed, and everybody proceeds all you want, and I'll just save this for circuit court upstairs. I said, am I in a court of record? He says, nope. I said, good. He said, I'm in Nisi Prius court, a court of nowhere. He said, that's right. So no testimony is given today? He said, that's right. So nobody's here? Nobody's here. So I said, you know I'm present here as a man. He said, you're not noticed. I said, well, there you go. Thank you. Wow. There's nothing left for me to do. And he was being straight up honest. No, nobody's testifying today.
And they will be, you know, when you ask the right questions. They will be.
So like I said, you know what? I'll file a case and I'll move it upstairs where I can give testimony, and when I summon them to appear, they're going to have to testify as well. He said, absolutely. That's the way you do it. I said, okay, thank you.
Yep.
And that's what I said to my friend. I said, look, anytime you want me to move the case upstairs, I'll go get the president of the fucking bank, the man, the CEO, who's ever the controlling officer, who's ever in control of this little corporation, monster, fucking, I'll get him. I'm just to appear.
Yep.
And he could testify it's true or it's not true. Because it was a very simple thing. It just said that the bank was called the plaintiff. It said the plaintiff was at the auction and it was the highest bidder. And I got 5 human beings that, you know, that have no vested interest in the outcome who could swear in open court, because I walked around and I talked to the people at the auction. Look, if you bid on this man's house and you win, why don't you just let him stay, charge him $500, whatever, $1,000 a month, they'll pay you. I said, so if you want to bid on this house and you win. If you don't want to bid on it, that's fine. You know what? I'll bid on it and I'll let the guy just stay there. I'll be the winning bidder and I'll let the guy stay. So when they said, well, does anybody bid? And I said, yeah, I bid. I bid $1. And they said, well, that's not enough. I said, okay, well, how much is the starting bid then? They said $73,000. I said, you ain't going to get that in anybody's lifetime. That'll never happen.
Nope.
So obviously, when they put the paperwork into the court on line 7, it said the bank was the plaintiff was the highest bidder at the auction. And and like I said, a case just like that got overturned down here. When they said a couple of years ago the bank did the same stunt, and the husband and wife said no. There was no bank representative at the auction. There was no bank at the auction. We were the highest bidders at the auction. And the clerk of the county told me, he said a similar case happened like this a couple of years ago, and yes, they overturned it.
Wow.
So I said to my buddy, well, anytime you want the sale overturned, you just let me know, and we'll file the paperwork and we'll do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I said, but, yeah, so like I said to him, just let me know. But like I said, here in Virginia, man, just like any place in the Northeast, everybody's just battling to get out of their driveways and make it down the street.
Yeah, I saw you got nailed twice, didn't you? Like 12 inches once and another 15 or something on top of it?
Yeah, like now I'd say there's at least 15 inches or so far today.
Wow. So yeah, we've been lucky. We've been lucky all we got was cold.
Yeah, I could live with the cold, but the snow, it makes life tough. Because I want to fly out. I want to fly Washington State. I'm going to go to the interstate. Hang on a second, man. I hear noise, man.
All right.
It's not on your end, right?
No.
Okay.
Sounds like someone's sending Morse code or beeping.
Yeah, that's funny. I gotta shut any noise down in the background down. But yeah, like I said to people earlier, I said I'm sure this man doesn't have a lot of money for me to help him. I'm sure that this guy just came out of jail and stuff like that.
Well, actually, what they've done to him is they're moving him around now a county jail because he was in a federal. They're moving him around in a county jail until this next trial comes up. As far as I know, the ministry, he still has it going through his son. So I believe they do have money. And I believe they would do anything as far as, anybody could help him to get out.
Yeah.
My son has had direct contact with Kent in prison through letters, and he's even given a number that you can call collect, whether or not, it's monitored or whatever. But, I believe his family would...
They're all monitored.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know that. The voice recognition.
I think for a second that they weren't monitored. Every single thing that goes in and out of those things are totally... You don't know if they're making a drug deal. You don't know what the hell is a prison break. You don't know.
Oh, exactly.
I expect every single phone call to be monitored.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know the NSA, yeah. Exactly.
When I heard Dean Clifford, he was doing some phone calls out of prison, and he says, I can't wait to get the fuck out. I want to fuck this judge. I want to fuck the prosecutors. I want to fuck them all. I'm going to take everything they fucking get. And he's doing it from a fucking prison cell.
No, you don't do that.
In a federal prison.
Wow. No,
this guy's crazy. I said to his brother, your brother's never going to get the fuck out of jail. And I heard his brother talked to him about a month ago, and he says, look, dude, I don't have to fucking explain to any Asia. You say nothing but peace, love, and tranquility that you wish of all these judges and all these court officials. You say nothing but how much you love them. And he was calling his brother the prison phone. He's like, well, fuck these. I hate these. I said, look. He said, look, you're never getting out until you tell these people you love them and you forgive them. So at least his brother is listening to me. Because I told his brother came up and met me in Canada. And I said, look, I'm not going to help him. I said, because there's nothing I could do for him. Because he's thinking it's the judge's fault he's there.
Yeah.
It's all his fault. Because he just doesn't have to move in and out of the court.
And when he unmuted.
And when he told people that he posted bail or posted a bond, and he said he was going to appear. Well, his physical body failed to appear. Notices appealed, the motions appeared, but he didn't physically appear.
And that's why they came after him?
That's why they came after him. They went up to Hamilton or wherever he was speaking, and I think he was up in Winnipeg. I'm trying to think of the other, Manitoba. He's from Manitoba.
Yeah.
And I think they picked him up in Hamilton in Ontario and brought him back to Winnipeg. Manitoba. Because he said, I was summoned to appeal. I had to go back in July, and I finished all that up. I put all the paperwork into the court saying I don't accept their shit, and I don't accept this, and you don't have any power over the man, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I don't consent. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I don't have to appear, blah blah. So I'm not going to appear. It's like, why didn't you put it in a form of a notice? That's fine, but you bailed out, bonded out, and it's the same thing I said to the other guy when he rescinded his contract from the bail or the bond or whatever you want to call it that he was doing. I said to him, terms and conditions of release, an ankle bracelet. I said, no. It was funny, Rod Class helped the guy, for like 10 days. He was at this man's house. And when Rod Class left his house, he gave this man about 4 inches of paperwork to put into the court. Well, when he put that 4 inches of paperwork in the court in July, I met the man in August. When he met this man near the end of July, he had 2 more felonies against him just for putting that 4 inches of paperwork into the court.
I believe it.
Yeah, so when I got there and I went down to talk to the attorneys down there at Evansville, down at the U.S. courts down there, I said, look, and I explained who this Rod Class was. So they dropped the 2 felonies that they had against him, the new 2 felonies. And they kept the original 2. And then we talked around the next 2 felonies he had, and I explained it was an IRS case. And like I said, they said, well, I guess we'll hold this off to sometime next year. We got a lot of cases ahead. I said, no, you better move your case against this man next week like you said you would. I'm going to show this man how to file a claim and a case against you. he wants his damn ankle bracelet off him. He was like, well, he's going to have to wait to try. I said, look, I'm going to show this man how to modify his terms and conditions of his release. And I'm going to show this man how to move a claim against you for failing to move your case, or failing to prosecute. It's got to be a timely case, fair and speedy trial. Yeah, I'm going to show this man how to move a case. If you don't move it like you said you're going to move it, you want to delay it, but still restrict his movements. Oh no, we're not playing this. So what was funny is, I said to him, look, I said it was like I think Wednesday or Thursday. I said goodbye to him. I said, look, mail. I wrote 3 notices for the man. I said, mail this one today. When I answer you in a day or 2, mail this one. When I answer to you in a day or 2, mail this 3rd one. And that should get your ankle bracelet off you, at least.
Yes.
So he called up my show about a week or 2 later. Says, well, how did it work? He said, well, they answered the 1st one. That's great. They answered the 2nd one. I said, well, that's great. They answered the 3rd one. That's great. He said, they answered the 4th one. I said, 4th one? Why 4th one? I said, I gave you 3. He said, well, I put the right class one in. I said, holy effing. No, you did not. I said, what does it read? What does it read? He says, well, I, Greg, like a free man, require you to immediately order you to remove this ankle bracelet from my ankle. I said, holy cow. And he's like, oh, I'm going to charge you like, $1 a day or for every minute that you don't. Right. Holy jeep.
And the threat.
I said, you just communicated the threats and you just committed extortion to the United States government, federal agents. I said, dude, I just got those felonies taken off you. What are you, out of your effing mind? And I told him, and I said, look, we were told when we were down there, we were told by the attorneys that they listened to my show. We were told. Yeah. And they're going to get, and the one lady said, well, my son is just studying law, so, I'm going to tell him to start listening to your show as well. I said, well, God bless him. I said, and if he has any questions, tell him to call at my show. I'll be more than glad to make him one of the, like a listener or a guest, and I'll be more than glad to talk to him. And I'll explain what I'm doing. She said, oh, you got no problem. I said, look, I love you people listening to my show. He said, well, we are listening to it, and we'll continue to listen. I said, yeah, don't be shy to call in. I said, I'm willing to explain to the feds or the state or attorneys exactly what I'm doing, what you need to do when you see my stuff coming. I got no problem with it. And she actually invited me to, she said, well, every year we have a federal defenders, public defenders seminar convention every. Last year was in Atlanta. She said, I'm not sure it's going to be this year. Could you come and possibly be a guest speaker? I said, there's no reason for me to be a guest speaker to explain that. I said, why do you need me down there? She said, because we can see a lot of your paperwork is going to start coming across our desks. So, like, the prosecutors and would like to know how to deal with your paperwork. I said, when you see a man appear before you, take his paperwork and chuck it in a waste bin. She said, what? I said, look, you got millions and millions and millions of persons that have no idea what the hell I'm doing. So when you see 1 or 2 man paperwork that comes through here, throw it in a waste bin and just move on to another case that you can win easier. Because persons are morons. Persons have no effing clue with who they are and where they stand and what their status is. You don't need me to address this to a convention. Just tell them, you see the word man on there somewhere, 2, 3 sentences done, run like hell.
Yeah.
I said, it's basically, like saying, like, if I, just run like hell. Just give it up and move on. Find there's millions and millions of other people who have no freaking clue what I'm doing. So, because if you bring this stuff out into an open court, into an open forum, and you challenge men, and this starts picking up speed, you're going to be you're going to be your own demise. You are going to bring your own, to the end, because you're bringing it into the public. Right. I said, right now, this isn't very well known in the public. I said, go ahead and do this and have some man win, and have some guy who's a newspaper reporter listening to this and saying, it was unbelievable. This guy put like 1, 2 sentences in, and he walked out of the courtroom, and nobody stopped him. What happened? The newspaper reporter's going to get curious and say, what the hell just happened? And he's going to say, you know what, I think there's something to this. So the best thing to do is just walk away. Yes. And don't try to prosecute a man. Just let it go. I said, and that way, this my stuff that I'm doing won't pick up any speed. It'll have to be like me telling one person at a time and teaching one person at a time. It's going to take me fucking forever.
That's true. That's true. And that's like you were saying last week with that Rod Class saying that he got his case sealed or whatever. He was better off, like you were saying, they would have been better off to let the case out, to let everybody follow him, because I followed him, and guess what? My complaint got dismissed because I was a crybaby. And they told me, thanks for crying, but get out of here. So now I put in a claim, and of course now they're trying, everything has changed. They're trying to back off, they're trying to do this and that. Now they haven't answered my notices, threw me in jail for contempt because it was my fault. I asked them to please show me the law that says you can dismiss a man's claim, and instead of doing it on paperwork, he told me to shut up, and I asked him one more time, and so he gave me a day in jail. That's fine.
I taught you a lesson.
Oh, yeah. Taught me a lesson. I didn't listen to Karl.
Yeah, you're not speaking to a man. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. So
court. You didn't convene your court.
Right. I did. Well, I have been convening my court, but what they do is, like you were saying, they joust back and forth with the jurisdictions. So I have to joust back, and then.
You forgot to ask who the hell you were talking to.
Exactly.
You forgot to ask who was addressing you.
But what I did do was, when he gave me the criminal contempt, I told him, well, if you're going to put that in order, please put it in order for me, because you are speaking to a man, and you are a man. If you're going to order me, I'm going to ask for compensation once I carry out your order.
Well, that's great.
He gave me a look, and I'm going to give him a bill for the 24 hours I spent in there. So.
Oh, he just gave you a look? He didn't say anything?
No, didn't say a word.
Didn't you ask him, sir, do you not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, or do I got to put it in a form of writing?
Well, what I should have said was, after I said, make sure you put it in order, he did. He did put it in order. I do have a copy of the order, so that's what I'm going to use as Exhibit A for my bill, of course.
And it's signed?
Yes.
And it's signed with his name?
Yes. But, you know how the signatures are, whether or not they're stamped, I'm not sure. I don't think it was a wet one.
Yeah, well, that's okay. As long as they could, like I said, as long as he admits that's his signature fixed upon that paper.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Yep. So
it could be anything. It could be it could be a seal. It could be a thumbprint. It could be anything.
Correct.
Yeah,
so I've got that. Like I said,
as long as he admits that's his mark.
Yes.
That's all.
So I've got a notice into them because, like I said, he was trying to dismiss my claim, and what happened was
he can't. No, he didn't dismiss your claim.
He can't. Right? Exactly. He's trying to. He's saying I'm dismissing the plaintiff's claim. Well, there was no plaintiff here. It's a man. So,
still, you were talking for something that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
He was addressing the plaintiff. He wasn't addressing you. So it's just like you were a spectator out on the third fucking row on the balcony screaming shit out.
That's right.
It's just like if you were a guy on the third balcony screaming, "You can't dismiss a fucking plaintiff's claim." He says, whoever fucking said that, hold him in contempt of court.
Yes.
Right, because you don't understand what he was doing. If he wasn't talking to you, he was talking to something called plaintiff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had to keep correcting him.
No, you can't correct him. Dude, he's talking to the plaintiff. That's like a guy yelling out the third balcony, "Judge, there's no plaintiff here today. This is what I mean. Can't you see? Sit in front of you."
Yeah,
it's like, who's yelling from the balcony? Who's that dickhead?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so you shut your fucking mouth and you let your paperwork work for itself. And then you can fucking send him a letter saying that I think he fucking moved in error.
That's right.
I think he wasn't aware of what was going on that day.
Yes, because that's exactly what it says.
Stop your mouth in his courtroom. You don't do it. As far as he's concerned, it's his courtroom. If he's addressing a plaintiff, that's something under his control and jurisdiction. That's something subordinate to him. Exactly. He's not addressing a man. You put it in writing and you shut your fucking mouth.
That's right. And like I said, that was my mistake. I should have known when I was talking. I said, "Oh, damn it!" Karl always said, "Shut up. Put it in writing."
If that's why, if I went to court with you, like I did with Bali, as soon as Bali turned to look I mean, look, because what was happening was the barrister, the Crown prosecutor, and I told the Punjabis, don't look, don't react, don't smile, no heartbeat, no raised eyebrows, no flared nostrils, no huff, no puffs, no cracking of the gums, no snickering, nothing. If that fucking side, I don't care what they fucking do on that side, do not bring them into existence. Do not acknowledge they even exist. So as soon as the barrister realized, man, all his shit, nothing was working. There was no objections coming from our side, nothing. He started, like the man was Indian, like Hindi Indian, not Punjabi.
Yes.
And Hindis hate Punjabis and Punjabis hate Hindis. Because they kill each other. They've been killing each other for centuries. They hate each other. Because the Punjabi killed, what's the lady's name? Gandhi, the prime minister.
The one before? Yeah. The one before him? Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Indira Gandhi.
Yeah.
Punjabi bodyguards killed Indira Gandhi. Hindi.
Yes.
So they hate each other. They'll always hate each other. So this Hindi guy started saying all kinds of shit about Punjabis, like, they're filthy, raghead, smelly, fucking filthy. I don't know why we even let them on the fucking British soil, blah, blah, blah. He was trying to jerk the fucking Punjabis chain like crazy. He was just fucking saying all kinds of hateful shit to try to get us to say something.
Right.
Because I told those fuckers, don't you blink, don't you move, don't you wiggle, don't you open your nostril, don't fucking roll your eyes, don't fucking move your shoulders, don't fucking laugh, don't you fucking do a fucking effort, and I mean fucking nothing.
Right.
And as soon as the Hindi started fucking ripping into the Punjabis, Bali thought it was like a cultural dishonor, and that he would rather, because this Hindi knew what he was doing. He was pushing their buttons. Because if you fucking honor these people are allowed to open carry swords in England. They can open carry swords.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. They open carry swords there, these guys. They don't fucking play.
Wow.
So, like I said, he had no problem knowing that what buttons it was going to trigger to make this side jump around like a bunch of crazed animals, like happened in a preliminary hearing. And I had to throw them all out of the fucking courtroom. And I told them, let's back the fuck off. Don't come near these fucking Punjabis. I got them. They just wait and give them a reason to burn this fucking building down. Just touch them. It's like the anniversary of the fucking massacre in their fucking temple. I said, just give them a fucking reason. They'll burn this place to the ground. So I threw them all out of the building. I remember Bali said during one of the shows, he says, Carl, I think I remember when you were talking to the judge and the barrister, when you had me at the nape of my neck. Oh, scruff of my neck. That's what you call it, the scruff of my neck. So I was like, oh, now I know where the scruff is. I never knew where the scruff was, but now I know where it is. And he said, you were throwing everybody out of the fucking courtroom. He says, and what you were fucking giving the fucking court notice as you were walking out, saying how you are going to now come before Queen's bench. You are now going to come before man. And we are going to summons you to a fucking appeal. And he says, I remember you giving a fair warning as you were throwing us out of the fucking courtroom. So what was funny is, during the trial, the Hindi barrister was trying to jerk these clowns' chains. So there's a reason they put a Hindi guy as the barrister instead of a white Englishman, like as a preliminary hearing. That they knew that was going to infuriate the Punjabis. So as soon as Bali looked, he started to turn his head towards the barrister. I hit him so hard, so fast. His brother stood up, and I threw his brother down. I just yelled, like, get the fuck away from my client. And I hit him, and I was like, oh, my God, did I just hit somebody and throw somebody in open courtroom during a trial? I said, holy shit. It just did. It's like sneezing.
Instant, yeah.
I can actually control the sneeze in court better than what I fucking did. Yeah. I just reacted so quickly because I said, it's like a dad seeing a kid going across the street and a car's coming. So the dad will, like, yank the kid by the neck or drop kick him out of the car's way. He's like, did you just drop kick that kid? Well, if I didn't, the car would have hit him. I had no choice. I had a microsecond to think, and I drop kicked the kid. Why? Because the car was going to hit him. It's like, well, so it's like, holy shit, I'm going to jail. Holy shit, I can't believe I just hit somebody in a fucking foreign country. I threw somebody in an open court. Oh, my God, they're going to throw me out of the building. If they don't put me in jail, they're going to deport me. I'm going to have criminal charge. Holy shit. But it hit me faster than a sneeze. I reacted that quickly because they almost brought the other side to life.
Yes.
They almost made the other side exist. Like the plaintiff almost appeared. The defendant almost appeared. the other side was almost there in that room at that time.
Yep, I see what you're saying. It was almost like a seance. Let's see if we can't conjure up something here.
Yeah. Let's see if we can't get these fuckers to react to this. Let's see if we can't get these fuckers to believe that this is actually having an impact and actually has an ability to control and move them. Because that's all jurisdiction is control.
Right.
So, did we get jurisdiction over you? Yes. Why? Because you reacted. By your actions and your inactions, we realize if we control you.
Yep.
So that's why I say, well, the most important things is your inactions, not your actions. Your inactions speak louder than your actions. What didn't you do?
Right.
Not what you didn't. What didn't you do?
I didn't say I require leave. And
you shouldn't have said a damn thing. You put your paperwork in. You're in a paper court, and there's nothing on the other side that's speaking. Everything's paper. You put your paper before the court. You shut the fuck up. There is nobody. There is no man, no woman appearing in that fucking courtroom that day but you.
Right.
So you look insane talking to an empty courtroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Although in my first hearing, I did call for the two men that have the claim so that they would come forth, and of course, I did that twice, and he stopped me the third time. Whether or not that has anything to do, they stopped me.
How did he stop you? Only a man could stop you.
Well, I shouldn't say stop me. He interrupted me and then went into a...
He interrupted you because you thought you heard a tree in the forest fall? So you let the tree in the forest fall control you?
No,
you thought you heard a man speak?
Yes.
You really? And you said to him, is there a man speaking to me at this time? I think I hear something, but I'm not sure. Is there a man in this court as well as I? Yes or no? No. Well, then I'm going to fucking continue speaking.
Exactly. That's my fault again.
No, you don't know your shit, so you're going to fucking keep hanging yourself. And this isn't a fucking game, and this isn't like, oh, boy, I got to write this down. Because when the judge shows us, I want to say this. Because then the judge is going to say something else. And like I said, well, people are going to say, oh, Cole, oh, wow, I like what Cole just said. I'm going to write this down. And when I go to court, they're going to do this. Da-da-da-da. The only problem is now the judge is going to say that. And then the judge is going to say this, and the judge is going to say that. Da-da-da-da. And you're going to, like I said, my stuff is a lifestyle. It's not, oh, well, that's a trick, and that's a cool trick, and that's a cool trick. It's like Bali. What Bali was doing with Cole was hysterical. It was funny. It was like he got the one trick, pulled the rabbit out of the hat. And then the judge went and said something else. And Bali said, I'm not a person, I'm a man. And Bali, again, he pulled the rabbit out of the hat. And then the judge said something else that had nothing to do with the answer that Bali was coming up with next. And Bali pulled the rabbit out of the hat again. It's like Bali, go to the next trick. Go to the next trick. Go to the next trick. Yeah. He didn't know how to do anything but pull the rabbit out of the hat. I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh, dude, he doesn't know what the fuck. He's fucking freezing up here. And then that's when I jumped up. And I said, may I aid and assist this court? And they said, and the court clerk said, and who are you? And I said, I'm the next friend. I'm the next friend for this the man before you at this time. And they said, and how do you wish to aid and assist this court? He said, you're looking for the person known as Balraj Man? Yes. The person known as Balraj Man is now present before this court. And Bali's like, looking at me. He's like, no, I thought it was only man. I said, shut the fuck up. I got this. I said, I'm not coming back to fucking merry old England because this guy's about ready to fucking reschedule this fucking trial in 6 months. I ain't coming fucking back. It's over today. I'm going to fuck home. I didn't come all the way over here to fucking postpone this shit. I came over here to finish this fucking thing now. That's the way I do things. I want it done and I want it done now. I'm going to fuck home. I got too much shit to do. I ain't got time to play this fucking game with you people. So the clerk said, well, how is the person now before this court? I said, yes, the person is before the court as well as the man. The man and the person are both before this fucking court. How is that? Is the person has a duty and obligation according to his right within the society in which he has certain duties and obligations which he must behold. And if he fails in those fucking duties that he ascribed to, the society may fucking impose upon him, such as penalties, fines, jail terms, death, whatever. The only problem is the person in whom you seek is not a member of the legal society. And I believe you have a legal complaint against this man, a legal criminal complaint against this man before the court this day, correct? Yes, well, this man is an idiot in legalese. He does not speak legalese. He's not a member of the legalese, nor is any of the other individuals that this court summons to appear today are part of the legal society. Thank God their skin is brown. It's going to make my job a lot easier to prove to this court that they are not proper Englishmen. They have no duty and obligation to act any way in any manner that your society subscribes because they did not subscribe to your society. They are Punjabi. I guarantee if they fucking violated or committed any fucking crime or act against the Punjabi society, they will be dealt as such. I said, but you have no jurisdiction or control of Punjabi because he is not of your society. They are idiots when it comes to legalese. But yes, the person that you seek before the court, yes, but a person of the Punjabi society, not of the legal British UK Crown society. Yes, they are persons, but not to your society, not to their society, to their own society, which they have done no wrong. And I said, there is no man that's going to come forth to this day and take that stand and testify that they have done anything wrong to any man of any society. Persons, yes. Man, no. And this is a common law land? Yes. Then they evoke the right to have the fucking man come forward and move their fucking case against them. And that will never happen. So are they guilty as charged? You better believe it. But are they guilty of doing anything wrong? No. They owe no debt to no man. And they have no debt to the Crown because they can't be guilty. They can't hold a debt to the Crown because they don't even know the Crown, the rules, the bylaws. They don't subscribe. There's no document that's going to prove they're a member of the legal society.
That's right.
So then the judge was like, and who are you again? He's like, my name is Karl Lentz. He said, I'm from the United States of America. I said, I hail from the United States of America. No, I'm not from it. I hail from it.
Yes.
He said, how do you spell your name? And it's like Karllentz. He said, okay, Mr. Karl Lentz. I said, okay, Lentz. Z. He says, oh, Z. Yeah, Lentz. He's like, yes, Karl Lentz. He says, have a seat next to your friend, sir. So I was in a peanut gallery, but I jumped up and said, oh, fuck no. I ain't dying. The judge was like, if the person is known as this, and this, ain't before the court, the court will reconvene. When's the next time we have an indictment? Oh, 6 months. I said, oh, F no. And he's like, what? Oh, F no. There's the person's here. I can testify to that. There's a person here known as Balaraj, man. And Bala's like, what the fuck are you doing to me? Dude, I got this. Just shut the fuck up. You are a person of the Punjabi society. You are a person. But you're not a person of the legal society. The Crown is bringing you before the court, not the Punjabis. You owe no duty and obligation to these fuckers. Just let me do my fucking job. Just sit there and like, shut the fuck up. I was pissed. I was there for 5 fucking weeks. I'm going home.
Yeah, that was a long time.
I sat there and explained to this fucking guy and his brother from 8 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock the next morning for 5 freaking weeks. And they couldn't get past pulling a rabbit out of the hat. I said, now saw the lady in half. Now pull the fucking cards out of your sleeve. Now make the pigeon disappear. Dude, stop pulling a rabbit out of the hat. Move to the next trick. And then I realized, you know what, this is a lifestyle. It's in you. You know how to fucking act in public. You were raised properly. You know how to perform. You know when you're dealing with a man. You know when you're dealing with your servants. And you know when you're the king, and they can tell when you're not the king. It's just like the pauper, the pauper and the prince and the pauper. Yes, they were born at birth. Yes, they were separated. Yes, the prince wanted to go out in the real world for a while and be a pauper, and he changed with the pauper. When the pauper was on the throne, everybody realized something's fucking wrong with this king, with the prince. He is not acting like he's in command of us. He is not acting like we're his servants. He's actually scared of us. He's scared of the servants. What the fuck is going on? So then the prince finally reappears and says, and then they're like, this pauper just walked into the royal court, and he's carrying this court like he's like he owns it, like he's the king. Wait a second, how can a pauper not fucking walk into our court and fucking know the fucking rules? How can a pauper walk in and command the court? How's he doing this? Because he's really the fucking king. Why? Because his actions, what he's doing, what he's not doing. We could tell that this guy knows his shit. And they could see that you know your shit in a half a heartbeat. You flap your gums like you fucking did in court. If I were the fucking judge, dude, hold you in contempt of court until you fucking get it out of your system. You come back into a fucking court, fucking open your mouth again, see what the fuck's going to happen to you. I'm going to get it out of your system one way or the other. You're going to learn how to act in public. Mommy, Daddy didn't teach you how to act in public. I'll teach you.
Well, yeah, and that's what he told me in court. Stop doing what I'm doing as far as bringing forth my claim.
Right. So, it's not that time. It's not that time. Let them, like I said, when they did theirs, they also had my claim before the court. But when the court was over, At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the judge read the ruling from 3 o'clock till 3:41. So 40 minutes, count one. For count one, harassment, guilty as charged. Crown versus Smith, 1999. Crown versus Jones, 2003. Crown versus Lucille, 2012. Count two, stalking, guilty as charged. Crown, and then he was given all the citations and rulings and of what those cases were. 40 minutes of guilty, count two. They were looking at me, the Punjabis were looking at me like, is this going to have a fucking happy ending? I said, just kick back and relax. They're doing their case. Case. The judge realizes my claim is there before the court. He realizes it. He sees it. He knows. What's the claim I made before the court? Just bring a man forward and this is over. But it'll never happen. So you're going to have to discharge whatever they're bringing into this court based upon my claim that they've done no wrong. So go ahead. Move, and then at the end, the judge said, now, for the common law side of the court, the claim that's before the court in the common law. And it's so funny, all the barristers and all the clerks on their side, on the Crown side, it was hysterical. They all took their pens and pencils and pads and they threw them up on the tables, and they all kicked back and stretched and started to yawn.
Wow.
Yep.
But they had nothing to do with it.
And then they said it's a common law, fucking the ridiculous nonsense, trivial bullshit. We don't got to write any of this shit that's going to come out of the judge now. Because it's over. We won. The judge, we already won. 5-0. 5 guilty. We won. It's over. There's no sense to fucking write down any of this shit the judge is going to say. He's going to say the common law is dead, and England's been dead a long time. Yeah, the only problem is the judge just said, these Punjabis, this is the most idiotic. I said, oh, yeah, we're going home. And I warned the Punjabis, too. I said, look, if this judge calls you a bunch of fucking idiots at the end when the ruling comes, you're going home. If he says you're competent, you're fried. So pray that he calls you an idiot. And I said to the Punjabi interpreter, however you have to describe to these people in Punjabi, idiot, tell them not to react negatively, to smile.
Yeah.
I said, now, whatever derogatory word you got to use to get through to these fuckers about the word idiot, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing to be told that in legalese. In street language, it's a slap in the face. In legalese, it's a beautiful word.
Yeah.
So just kick back and relax. When they call them idiots, tell them to smile because they're going home. Tell them that they're competent. Oh, they're fried. So the judge called them idiots. I was like, oh, my God, they're going home. He realizes they're strangers. They have no duties and obligations as a stranger, as a guest.
And see, that's one of the things that's hard for maybe a lot of people to understand is if you read anything from a lawyer, you don't understand it. Right there's the proof that you don't belong in this society because you can't understand the word they're saying. So, like you always say, why would you want to learn Chinese, Japanese, whatever? Let them speak whatever they want. You don't understand the word they're saying.
It was like I said, when you were starting to say guilty, count one, guilty, count two, the Punjabis looked at me and I said, stop. Like, don't yell up and down, don't cry, don't react, stop. Nothing's going on yet. Wait for the common law side.
Yep.
Just wait. Just be patient. And you guys can't be patient. You guys want to do like the lawyers say in this jurisdiction. Well, if you fail to object, you have nothing for appeal. What appeal? Appeal what? You don't speak legalese. What are you going to appeal? You didn't hear anything.
Exactly.
There's nothing to appeal. You're talking legalese. You're talking Chinese, Japanese. How can I appeal?
And that was one of the things that you brought up. That you brought up last couple times about what happened when you talked to that clerk about what appeals mean. That you're wasting your time. I mean, how many people waste years trying to appeal stuff for absolutely nothing?
Right. It's not going to go anywhere. You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Like he told me, he said, all these Supreme Court justices down here of Alabama, he said they're elected. They don't have a fucking clue about the law. He said they all fucking do what they're told to do. But the politicians do. How the politicians tell them. He says they do like what the Attorney General and the politicians tell them to rule. Oh. Because they're not lawyers. They're not attorneys. They're elected. I could go be elected for the Supreme Court of Alabama. You don't have to fucking be an attorney. You just have to be elected.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He says you're wasting your time.
I figured at least they were attorneys, but wow, they're not even attorneys. No wonder they're being basically used as puppets for whatever reasons that somebody else wants them to do something.
Like I told it to somebody the other day on somebody's show. Oh, somebody named Ken W. on Angela's show.
Uh-huh.
He said, well, a declaratory judgment. I said, a DJ? I said, you're telling me you got a great victory by presenting a DJ to the court about being a licensed driver or a taxpayer or something like that? I said, yeah, I got a DJ. I said, dude, you know who creates DJs? Declaratory judgments. I said, you know, it's like a 16, 17-year-old office clerk or law student. I said, you're just asking an opinion of a judge. Yeah. I said, judges are like the laziest bastards on planet Earth. So they're going to have some law clerk or paralegal or some retired judge who's 80 years old who's got nothing better to do. He's going to write an opinion. He's going to present the opinion. I said, so you're getting opinions from a 16, 17-year-old legal student, law student. You're getting an opinion. You got the declaratory judgment from a 80-year-old retired judge who's just sitting around an old age home doing some research. You know, say, hey, you know what? Can you write us up some a DJ for us? You know, somebody's asking an opinion that if he has a pond on his side of the property and this guy's got a pond on his side, and who you know, and that's all it is. It's, a DJ is just,
exactly.
A DJ is just like, look, we're thinking about suing each other, but we really don't want to go into a full-blown trial. So a DJ is basically going to arbitration, just saying, look,
right,
I'm thinking about suing you, he's thinking about suing me, but we don't want to spend a ton of money on lawyers, so you know what, honestly, we're just trying to get a point in law, you know, settled between us at this time. So if we did go to court, and I did sue him about this pond or this tree that fell on my car, can you tell me how the court would rule? And then so you get law clerks and you get retired judges who will actually go try to, you know, do some research and say, well, in the past, this is how they ruled this way, this way, or this way. So if you take it into court, this is how they're probably going to rule. So, but that doesn't, right, so if you agree, if both parties agree that, you know what, however the DJ comes out, we'll agree to it and we'll abide by it. But, you know, if I just went in there and I got a DJ against you, and I sent it to you and said, see, this is what's going to happen. You better just fucking pay me because we go to court, I'm going to win according to this DJ. And you're like, you know what? I want to present my case to the open court. I want to present my case to the jury. So thank you for getting an opinion. Thank you for trying to scare the shit out of me. But you know what? I'm going to elect to take this to a full-blown trial by jury.
Right.
So this guy just kept trying to say how wonderful his DJ was. I said, dude, the DJ is just an opinion of one law clerk or one old man. I said, it's not an opinion of the court.
Yep.
I said, so I said, what are you promoting again? So then he started to say, you know, he started to do that credits and commerce bullshit, like I accept liability and surety for the person known as this. Oh, shit, this is that 37-word spiel.
Yeah.
That Gordon Hall used to say all the time. I said, dude, I said, you're credits and commerce, ain't you? And then he just hung up, and Angela was like, where did he go? Where did he go? I said, yeah, because I called him out, because I know exactly what he's going to do. These credits and commerce try to convince people to join their organization, like a 3-month membership thing. They got to go meet up at in Indiana, wherever, or Texas, or California. They got to like live there for 3 months, and they study, and then they get accredited by the credits and commerce staff, and they go out there and try to promote this crap.
Yeah, weren't they promoting OIDs and all that, 1099s and all that other stuff?
Whatever was floating the boat at that time, whatever the new trick in the book was.
Right, they keep changing it every other year because nothing works and people start going to jail.
Right, so then you got to come up with another $20,000, $30,000 membership fee.
Yeah, exactly.
To come back up to speed. You know, like I said, I have a lot of people asking me that. Like, Carl, why don't we set up schools and teach people this? I said, dude, it's so simple, it's scary. Yeah, I said, the only thing I'm going to do is try to create DVDs or write a little simple book and just show people this is all you need to do when you go to court. This is how you write a letter.
Yep, that would be the best thing because I know myself, I'm looking for your dictionary because sometimes, like you say, you get too smart. Oh, you know all these words. Well, guess what? Like you were saying, make it the simplest sentence, you know, like you were a 4th grade kid or something like that because those words have just as much meaning and clarity than all these big fancy words that everybody else uses. So that, to me, that was one of my hardest things, is going down from, 20, 30 pages of nothing but rambling crap to down to 2 or 3 sentences of hard meaning, answer this, and we're done.
Well, like I said, look at what this one man wrote to me the other day. We started working on a letter campaign back and forth. And the first letter he wrote, I said, looks good. And then he sent a second letter. I said, look, if they don't respond in 2-3 days, send the second letter. And the second letter was basically like the first letter. I got the second letter real quick, follow-up letter. It just basically said, I sent you a letter. You know, it says, he could say I sent you a correspondence, but he used the word letter. That's fine. Like letter to me is A, B, C, D. That's a letter.
Right.
But that's okay, you know. He said, I sent you a letter, and I haven't heard back from you. Are you in possession of the letter? Maybe the letter was lost or delayed in the mail. Here's a copy. Would you please call or text me at blah, 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 and let me know that you're in receipt of this letter. I wish you well. God bless. And the man's name was Joe. I said, good. That's the second follow-up letter. That's good. It's not exactly the way I'd write it, but you know what? The man's going to get the gist of it. Did I send you a letter? What? You sent him a letter? Cute. What letter did you send him? You know, but you know what I'm saying. It's good enough.
Yeah.
You know, but then the next letter, the third letter to me is insane. So the third letter was, I am asking you, man to man, do you believe I'm guilty of doing something wrong? Regards, Joe. I said, holy shit. I said, you do not fucking send that. And I'm saying to myself, oh, my God. And I just said, laugh online, LOL. No, we will need to talk about this letter. And then he wrote, and then he tried to call me, and I said, sorry, I'm busy. I'll call you back later. And he said, okay. So like I said, you know, he's getting the letter. He's starting to understand what I'm trying to say about you got to write letters back and forth. But when he got to the third letter, he's calling the guy out. You don't call nobody out. He's like, that sounds kind of threatening. Are you trying to tell me I did something wrong? You know, I was like, no, dude, that's all right. That's all right. You know, the guy's just doing his fucking job. He's the prosecutor. He's not fucking saying anybody did anything fucking wrong. You don't fucking talk to him like that. But like I said, he just sent it to me today, and I haven't had time to respond back yet. How he should modify that letter. And that's what I was saying to the guy with the ankle bracelet on. He ordered that they take the ankle bracelet off, and he goes back to the state of being he was before the ankle bracelet was on. I said, dude, you begged them to put that ankle bracelet on. There is no other man's name. Dude, I don't even see the United States government's name. I don't see the U.S. Marshal Service name on it. I don't see anybody's name on there, on that wish to have that fucking ankle bracelet put up on your leg, except for yours. He says, no, it says right. Dude, I read the damn thing. Don't try to bullshit me. I read it. They said, they didn't say anything, dude. You said you wanted it on your leg as a term and condition of your release. You said it, not them.
Mm-hmm. He probably never read it, so you're right.
No, he did read it, but you guys read this shit, and you think they're saying it. Wow. You're saying it. They don't have a vocal cords. They don't have ears. They don't have a conscience. They don't have a soul. They have nothing. They're not saying shit. You think that's what it says. Did anybody stand in court and tell you that that's what it says? No. Did you ask anybody? No. Did anybody tell you fucking put it in a form of writing and sign it, or do you put that ankle bracelet on you? No. Then you did it with your own free will, because you wanted to get out of jail. So guess what's going to happen, asshole? You ordering them to take this off your ankle, and you want to be, you know, now for then, what's that? You wanted to go back to non-Trump.
Non-Trump, yes. You
wanted to go back to the way it was. I said, guess what's going to happen? Where were you the minute that you signed it? You weren't sitting in a federal prison somewhere without an ankle bracelet. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to put you right back in the fucking prison without the ankle bracelet. I said, dude, what you're supposed to do, if you want to do this Rod Class bullshit, is you don't do it non-Trump because he thinks he's using his fancy fucking words. What you're supposed to fucking do is make a modification of the agreement.
Yes.
And you could say, well, you know what? Thank you for putting this ankle bracelet on me. It's a lovely ankle bracelet. I'm sure it costs a lot of money and a lot of research and development to do such a fucking wonderful product. The only problem was, at the time, was I wanted to go home and see my family, and that was the terms and conditions of my release. Now that I look back at it, I realize that this hurts my ankle. And I realize this glorious fucking government would never want to do anything to cause harm to man. Can you please come up with an alternative solution that way we could use a product that would not be a detriment to man? Thank you, kind regards. God bless you all. Have a blessed day. Why couldn't you fucking write that? Why'd you use this fucking Rod Class threatening fucking extortion bullshit on U.S. Marshals? What are you fucking mind? And I said, I know the U.S. Marshals are listening to the show. I said, I know the United States government's listening to this show. Look, guys, if you want to pick this fucking clown up, do it. I am not coming back to Indiana to fucking bail his ass out. And the next day, his wife was like, boom, they picked him up, yeah. I told you.
Wow.
Look. I said, you don't threaten U.S. Marshals. You don't threaten the fucking judges. You don't threaten these people. Or you don't threaten the persons. You don't do it.
Yep.
You look
That's
insane.
Right. Yep. And see, that's like
they granted his wish. I said, you can modify the terms and conditions of the settlement. That you can do.
Right, but don't demand and don't put out orders.
If you don't fucking, dude, nobody fucking put that on you but you. You're trying to say they put this on you. They didn't put it on you, dude. I read the fucking terms of the condition of your release. You put it on you.
Yep.
He says, no, dude. I said, look, I don't know what the fuck Rod Class read. I don't know what the fuck you read. I don't know if your eyesight and his eyesight don't read what my brain picks up when I read something, but I'm telling you, it's not there. I said, look, I don't know if I'm super smart and I see things the different way, or I'm so Neanderthal and so back to basic and so simple that I don't put things there that don't exist. I just see black and white. I don't know where you're manifesting all this imaginary shit. I said, maybe I'm too simple. Maybe I'm too stupid. Maybe I'm too fucking caveman. I don't see where it says that. Where do you see it? How do you guys come up with this crazy shit?
Right.
You guys have some vivid fucking imagination because it's not there. I said, I guess I'm kind of blessed that I don't have that kind of fucking imagination. Like, colorful. Women say, oh, let's make it blue, let's make it purple, let's make it green today. Oh, then tomorrow it's going to be orange, yellow, and fucking pink. Me, I said, look, just paint it black, paint it white. I got tons of it. Just fucking paint it black and white. Let's get on with the day. I got time for this shit. Well, you know, maybe with some chartreuse. What the fuck's a chartreuse? Get the fuck out. Just paint that damn thing black or white and let's get on with the day. Exactly. It's like Henry Ford used to say, you could get a fucking Model T in any color as long as it's black. That's an actual quote from him.
Yeah, I would doubt it.
Model Ts come in any color you wish as long as your color is black. There you go.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because look, he just considered it a tool to go from point A to point B.
Right.
Not a status symbol, not an ornament, not some ornate, not some flamboyant. A tool to go from here to there.
Yep.
See, when it's like, well, why accessorize it? Do what? Paint it red. What? The black works just fine.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we paint it red and charge more money? It's like, that's ridiculous. Why don't we just put chrome fucking rims on it and charge them 10 times as much? Well, yeah, you think we should do that? No, I don't think you should do that. People should spend their money on things like food and clothing for their children, not chrome fucking hubcaps. No, just paint the damn thing black. It's a tool, not a status symbol. It's a tool to help man go from here to there, to help every man on planet Earth go from here to there.
Right.
That's it. And that's all I tell people. Look, I'm not showing you the chrome, the fucking glitter. Look, this is black and white. This is what you need to do. Boom, be fucking done and go find something else to do with your wife and kids. Like this Credit Commerce was telling people to spend 3 months there at their boot camp or whatever. Come back every now and then for more accreditation. It's more fucking... Dude. I teach people how to get in and the fuck out of court as fast as possible so you go back home with your wife and kids and fucking do some work that God fucking put you on earth to do. Not to be tangling with fucking the legal society. And
I know you can attest, and I can attest the same thing. Using the lawyers, all it does is stretch years and years and years going back and forth, battling over nothing. Same thing. It's like, can we move forward? You know, but you're right. In and out of the court.
Their money is billable hours.
Yep.
Now, me, I want to charge people. Did I get the case done for you? Yes. Did I do a job? Yes. Was it done? Like I said, I've been a contractor for almost my whole entire life. I hardly ever punched the time clock in my whole entire life since I was a kid. Everything else, I'm a contractor. And a contractor knows unless 100% of the job is done and complete, he doesn't get a fucking dime.
Right.
That's it. 99% of the job does not get you the paycheck.
That's right.
They don't give you, they don't give, it's like, well, I built a swimming pool, and look at all this work and tiles and everything else I did in the swimming pool. But every time we fill it up with water, it leaks out the next day. So give me all the money you owe me. They'll say, no, that's ridiculous. It's like there must be something wrong with the pool. It's like, I don't know, you see a crack anywhere? And the lady say, no, I don't see no cracks anywhere. But all I know is when we put water in it, the next day it's empty. Something's wrong. Well, show me the crack. I don't know, I can't see no fucking crack, but all I know, man, is the pool's empty. I'm not giving you shit. I don't know what the fuck is wrong, but I'm not giving you anything. It's like, oh, you've got it because I did the fucking job. Look, it's a beautiful looking pool. Yeah, beautiful looking pool, but does it function? Does it work? Well, it looks like a pool. But if it doesn't hold water, guess what? It's not a pool, so I only have to pay for a pool.
Right.
Right, and that's how contractors understand the realities in life. If it doesn't work, you don't get paid.
Yep.
And lawyers
Right,
have billable hours.
Yeah, and and we know because they have billable hours that they don't care whose side takes the longest, whose side needs a continuance, whose side didn't get the paperwork in. Who cares? I'll go back and we'll go another day, $2.75 an hour, just so I can come into court and say, what, continuance? Sure, okay, next month, see you again.
Yeah, they're in no hurry.
Yeah, no.
They're happy if they get one client that'll take up the whole entire year, as long as that client's got money.
Yeah, as long as he's paying, sure, exactly.
Right. They don't have to chase another ambulance and look for another victim.
Yeah.
They got one that's on a hook, and this guy's got money. We'll ride this fucking guy for a year or two. And like I tell people all the time, I was like, look, I got some friends who are attorneys, and they told me this fucking scam. Just like that attorney, that's like John Wilkinson Jr., the court clerk, the appellate court clerk down there for Alabama, the Supreme Court down there.
Yeah.
He said the same thing. The attorneys told me the same thing. It's like, look, we just look for billable hours. And it's like, look,
right.
Well, if there's a man suing another man, we're going to let the poor man win. And then the fucking rich guy could say, wait a second, attorney, why didn't you put this into exhibit? Why didn't you put this into evidence? Why didn't you bring this up into the court at the time? It's like, oh, don't worry about it. We're going to win on appeal. I just saved that for an appeal just in case. And, yeah, we're going to have to use that now. So, yeah, well, I'll put that evidence into the court now. But we'll do it to an appeal. We'll come back. We'll win the appeal. And the appeal will say, go back to the court of original jurisdiction and retry this case. So they're going to keep retrying the case until the rich guy runs out of money.
Right.
You're going to milk this guy for everything he's fucking got. And I said it was funny. I told the guy in Modesto, California, who calls me up every now and then, he lays bricks for a living. He's got a bricklaying company and tile company. I said, look, in Modesto, what do they got? 2, 3 tile companies, 2, 3 brick. I said Modesto is probably not that big. So how many competitors do you really have? He said, not that many. Right. So if you see a big company come to town, like say Cisco or Microsoft or somebody, and there's bidding, and in Modesto you have to have a permit to lay bricks, right? You got to be incorporated with this. So you got to get fucking chartered. You got to have a permit, right? You said, yeah. So right. Yeah. So 3 or 4 years get together, and you say, look, nobody bid under $1 million. Nobody. You let me win this one, and you could all come in and help as subcontractors, but let me win the bid. And you said there's plenty of work for all of us. But, I'll put it up for $1 million and we'll all share the money. Because honestly, and I know, it's only a $100,000 job. But Microsoft don't know it. Cisco doesn't know it. And we monopolize this county, so we monopolize this city. So guess what? Whatever bid we put up, they have to accept, or they're not going to get the building built. Or they're going to have to look at another city. So let's just agree, $1 million, and we all jump in and we all do the work together. They're like, okay. I said, that's what lawyers do. They all sit around and make an agreement. They already know what the outcome is going to be before you walk into the courtroom, before the parties walk in. The judges and the attorneys already made all their backdoor deals. Right. With each other. Right. So when you walk in, it's like, wow. They're like, wow, that was quick. How did that, what the fuck would happen? It's like, we talked. It said, what do you mean you talked in chambers? What are you talking about? You mean the judge already knew what was going on before you? Oh, that's right, that's fine. We already talked and we already got it worked out in chambers. We already settled it. Yep. They say, well, what about the trial? What about the witnesses? What about that? Don't worry about it.
I had that happen in my case where my lawyer that I had hired was talking to the other side, making deals, and wasn't telling me.
Yeah.
So when I ended up firing her and asking her for all the paperwork, I'm getting all these letters that they were sending back and forth. I'm like, what the hell is this? And here you think they're representing you. Yeah, they have no interest in you at all.
Nope. They're going to have billable hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right. It's just a game. It's just like I said, look, you bricklayers fucking do it, right? He's like, yeah, well, we do it too. I said, what makes you think lawyers don't do it?
Yeah.
I said, if bricklayers do it in a little town called Modesto, what makes you think attorneys don't do it worldwide?
Yep.
I said, what? Do you think, why shouldn't they do it? If they know that they're only game in town, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Go get an attorney and sue the other attorney?
Exactly, because you know as well as I do, you try to enter into their playing field, you don't have that card, forget it. Forget it. And that's exactly what that judge in Ohio was saying. You don't have our playing card, you can't come into play. Sorry. No admittance.
If you folks know you're the only game in town and you're going to monopolize the only courthouse in town, and you know you're going to control it basically 100% of the time, obviously the anything that gets moved in and out of there is going to be by the blessings of the court clerk. And like I said earlier, I said the court clerk should stop you from trying to put any legalese nonsense into somebody else's legal case file. It's like, look, this attorney for the other side, created all these legal documents, and he put it in his case, and it's beautiful. Leave his case and his suit and his documents alone. Don't put your dirty trash, what you think is legalese, into that man's case. Leave it alone. And like I said, I don't know if you went to my website and saw that, where the judge said, he made numerous legal conclusions, and, but I don't see anywhere where they're, registered or licensed to the state of Ohio to act as an attorney.
No, but I haven't seen it on the website, but I heard you talking about that, and like I said, that tells it all right there.
Yeah,
doesn't matter how you...
Yeah, if you do have access to the internet, just go to broadmind.org and check it out.
Sure, I will. Sure, I will, because I've done the same thing.
Yeah, because I say that to people all the time. So when I went to court one time back in 2003, 2005, I had the codes down perfect. And when I went to court, everybody was snickering and laughing at me. I said, what's so funny? They said, like, you're a Vietnam vet with VD? I said, no. What are you talking about? I said, good. And they just started laughing. So when I went home, I checked the codes, and they switched, like, Title 26 to Title 15, and Title 26 just disappeared altogether, whatever. They got rid of a couple of title codes, and they codified it into a shorter, condensed version of the codes. And I was complaining like I was a Vietnam vet, complaining that I got, like, fucking a clap from a Hong Kong hall while I was over in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking for state benefits. And that's why because they knew how I was coming into the court. And these people are smart enough to go to the legislators and said, we need you to change a couple of your fucking codes. What's that? It's like, yeah, can you just change this to this and this to this? Why? Because there's some clown who's going to fucking clean our clock in court. So we want to just fucking totally destroy his complaint against us, his motion against us. We want to make it look totally frivolous and ridiculous so he can never put another one into the court because he's a complete moron. So when they did that to me, I looked like a complete fucking moron. It's like, what title are you fucking quoting? Title 26? Section what? 103? 103. Really? And you do know you're in family court, right? Oh, yes, absolutely, sir, because Title 26 clearly establishes, they have to have no, it doesn't, sir. Yes, it does. No, it doesn't, sir. I was there like January 5th, and they had a revision of the code like on January 1st, on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
December birthday of revision. They revised the code on January 1st. So when I got there January 5th, I looked like a total asshole.
Wow.
So when I got home, when I drove 600 miles fucking back home, flipped open the computer, said, what the fuck I said, oh my God, they did not fucking do that to me, did they? I said, never again. I am never walking into a code world ever again. That's it. I am going to figure out a way to fucking teach man to never fucking walk into that code world again. Because it's fucking it's suicide.
It's a slap in the face to realize, but I'm glad that, you did that, because look what happened now. Everybody's starting to realize. Like you have been saying, it's a code. How are you going to understand a code? I was in the military. We send coded messages all the time. Nobody can read them. Why? Because that's what it is. It's a code. You can't read it until somebody decodes it for you, and hopefully if you have the code that's the right one for that day at that time and everything else, you'll be able to decipher the message. Otherwise, it's no good. It's junk. It's garble. Yeah. So, like you said, even though all the studying you've done, we've done, everybody's done, it does you no good, because you still don't know exactly what this guy's trying to say, and they're going to change the code. And that's what we did in the military. We change the code every 24 hours. Right. There's a new key code that comes out, and you put the new key code in combination, and no matter what you said yesterday, now it's different today. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like I'm wasting my time studying code, ain't I? Yeah, because it's old code. Yep. And now it's new code. You're on the wrong page, sir. What? You're on the wrong page, and you look like a damn fool. Wow. And that's the thing. You go through all that trouble thinking that you're doing it correctly, and then you get slapped right in the face and made to look like an idiot. Well, an idiot. I shouldn't say idiot there, but it's, make yourself look like a moron because you thought you had something correct and you were way off base.
To me, moron means that you're putting more on than is necessary. Like, why are you talking about being a Vietnam vet? Why are you going on and on about that? Do you realize where you're standing, sir? Do you realize what court this is? Do you realize what, no, obviously you have no fucking clue what you're doing, and you're totally wasting the court's valuable, limited resources and time. And we're not going to tolerate this frivolous shit anymore coming into our court. And you fucking try to come into our court ever again, we're going to fucking make sure that you're not allowed in.
Right.
So they're going to disbar you from coming fucking appearing in their court ever again as frivolous filings.
Yep. And
if you complain to their boss or whatever, the boss is going to say, what the fuck was he going on about? I don't know. He comes in with some Vietnam fucking clap from Hong Kong, Saigon, or what? Didn't he realize he was in family court? Yeah, I don't know where this guy's getting this shit from. He's wasting our fucking valuable time and our limited resources with this silly Vietnam shit.
Right. Right.
And that's how simple I make it to people. Stop fucking trying to answer their case.
Yep.
You're wasting your fucking time. If you want to answer that case, go fucking hire an attorney.
Yeah, and then good luck with that.
Yeah. Right. Go see when you bid for a contract and you need a bricklayer in the city, and there's only 2 contracting companies in the city, and they're both brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
See what kind of estimate.
And your cousins with the judge. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. See what kind of estimate you want to get. You could get the same building built any place else for $10. Here it costs fucking $1,000.
Yep.
So guess why? Because it's a monopoly. It's the only game in town, and you fools think that this is the only option you have. So I'm just showing people other options. Because everybody's like, there's no other options. It's like, that's right. Because you don't know how to fucking occupy a fucking public courthouse. It's a public building. You're the public. That's a public courthouse. Move your case into the public courthouse. Just like they moved their cases into a public courthouse. The legal society didn't pay for that courthouse. The public paid for that courthouse.
That's right.
Right. I don't see fucking attorneys say, well, deduct 20% out of my fucking cut so I could pay for a courthouse. We all got to chip in.
That's right. They don't.
That don't happen. It's not coming out of their pocket. It's not coming out of the Bar Association's pocket so they can build a new building. It's not their fucking building. Oh, and if you go to my website, too, I put a fucking plaque, a picture of a plaque.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the plaque?
Did you just recently put it up?
Yeah, I haven't touched my website in a year, and I just decided to fucking try to do a little bit of something.
I remember seeing all the pictures you did, when you were up in Canada with the hockey jerseys and things like that.
Right, that was a year ago that I've been up there. It was up February, March last year. March, April. February, March, I was up there 5 weeks. I think I was there for the last couple of days of February, the whole month of March, and a couple of days in April.
Wow.
So, but what's funny is I put that plaque that the Bar Association, it's presented by the Virginia State Bar Association on May 17th, 1959. So back in 1960, the Bar Association put a plaque at the Jamestown Memorial Church, in Jamestown, because Jamestown was like the first colony, by the English.
Right.
So I put a plaque, the sign that you could go there and take a picture of. It says the common law. It says, here the common law of England was established on this continent with the arrival of the first settlers on May 13, 1607. The first charter granted by James I to the Virginia Company in 1606 declared that the inhabitants of the colony shall have and enjoy all liberties, franchises, and immunities as if they had been abiding and born within this our realm of England. Since Magna Carta, the common law has been the cornerstone of individual liberties, even as against the crown. So when it says even against the crown, they're not talking about the king, they're talking about the Bar Association.
Right.
The crown is the Bar Association, it's not the king. So when you go against the crown in Canada, you're not going against the king or queen of England because they disowned the king or queen of England. The little old lady in England has no control over Canada, trust me. She doesn't wake up in the morning and say, all of Canada must do this. Nobody in Canada is going to listen to that 80-year-old lady. Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
So it says, even against the crown. Summarized later in the Bill of Rights, its principles, the common law, have inspired the development of our system of freedom under the law, which is at once our dearest possession and the proudest achievement. This plaque was presented by the Virginia State Bar Association May 17, 1959. So the Virginia State Bar Association understands the common law and why the common law is the greatest achievement that we've accomplished as man on this continent, because it protects us from the crown and protects us from the bar.
Yes.
If the Bar Association's admitting it, putting in plain sight, what the fuck is wrong with the common man to not understand common law?
Right.
Right.
And
It isn't like Karl Lentz put this plaque up at the Jamestown Colony. The Bar Association put it up. So if I put it up there, they'll call that's just what you believe. That's what you believe. You believe the common law was established here upon this continent to protect us from the crown, the Bar Association. That's just your belief, Carl. It's like, well, the only problem is the Bar Association agrees. Why? Yeah, because they are the ones who actually put it up. Oh, no, Carl, that's your crazy beliefs. Every time I go to court, the judge always says there is no common law. Common law where? In this case before the court, he's telling you the truth. Where's your case based in common law? Do you have one there in front of the court at that time? No? Well, then it does not exist in this courtroom at this time. Admiralty exists. Bankruptcy exists. Divorce exists. Traffic law exists. Common law doesn't exist because you didn't evoke it. You didn't move it into the fucking courtroom, asshole.
Right.
Yeah, but does common law exist? Not at this particular moment in time. Just like the first thing I asked the judge is, are we taking testimony today, Your Honor? No, we're not. Okay, well, then there's nothing for us to say. Thank you. It's like, well, if you don't like the ruling of the court, appeal it. Appeal what? There's nothing being testified to appeal. For me to file an appeal, there must be testimony for the appellate court to review. If nobody's testifying today, if nothing's speaking in court, everything is in writing. I'll just move a claim against what they wrote. What they wrote on line 7 was the plaintiff was the highest bidder at the auction. So that negates everything from 7 under is void because that's fraud. They didn't appear. I got 5 human beings that will swear and testify under oath that there was no representative of the bank at that auction. And I'm just waiting for the county recorder's office that they shipped it off to the attorney for the county to record the transactions and the events that occurred at the day of the auction. And that takes 6 months. 6 months hasn't passed since the auction, so we're going to have to wait for the attorney report and review of what transpired during that auction on that day. So the attorney's going to have to bullshit and lie for the bank, saying the bank was there. But the only problem is I'm going to bring 5 people of this county before the court because I know all their names. That's going to say, that's not what the fuck happened. And we're going to ask, hey, attorney, were you there at the auction? Because we didn't see you. And then he's going to fuck himself.
Right.
So this is going to be a really interesting report that this attorney's going to have to generate on what actually transpired at the time of the sale, because an attorney's supposed to be there and give a recording of the event of the auction. And there's no fucking attorney sitting on that courthouse steps that day. Gus was there. I was there. Even Gus was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. So now you've got 5 men that are going to testify against a corporation fiction entity and a representative of a corporation fiction entity, and they're not going to come and testify.
Right, they can't because they know they weren't there. And they know I could bring 5 of mankind before the court to show that that did not occur. This is what happened, this is what did not happen. So like I said, but like I said, I got so much fun, good stuff going on right now with so many people all over the world asking me to help them with cases, and that's what I say, man. I always say, like, to Gus and Larry and Mark and Mike, hey, guys, catch up to me, man. Get on board. Stop helping me do this stuff.
That's one of the things I was going to ask. I know that you had some guy, I think one of his name was Patrick from Chicago, to give out emails or whatever, so that we can get small groups, throughout the country. So everything is just directed right back at you. And, like with Gus and Larry and Al and Mike and everybody else that's helping you out, that's what we need to do is spread this out so everything's not thrown right back at you. When we get a question, we have something we're stumped on, then we can come to you and you can give us, your opinion, your advice, and everything else.
Yeah, you said that the man is still. I guess I'll talk to you, during the week and get the man's number and stuff like that, the way to talk to him. But you said it did bounce from county to county, prison, jails. Yes,
that's what they're doing now. Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to. I'm not even sure exactly what court. I believe it was a federal district tax court, the first one, but I'm not sure about this other one. But like I said, I can actually have my son call him, collect, or write to him again to get as much information as far as an update as to exactly what's going to be happening, this March 9th trial or whatever. But, yeah, and I'll send it all to you.
All right. Yeah, because I wanted to ask that Mike Miller in Canada a question. Because I was trying to help some lady with a granddaughter, trying to keep the police from kicking in the door. And, that worked out good because they had a warrant for her arrest and they had a pickup order for the kid. But
the one in Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Guyana lady, yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, so I told the lady, look, there's a couple things that you have to do. I said, I'm not asking you to do them. I'm telling you, you better effing do it. If you don't effing do it, I'm not going to, don't bother calling me up.
Right.
And one of the things I told her to do was make sure that you go become a member of a church. I said, where are you from, Guyana? So either you have some sort of a Catholic upbringing or some sort of like fucking tribal fucking voodoo thing shit going on. I said, whatever it is, I really don't care. But you better go find, some religious, a non-secular faith-based organization to help you.
Yes.
Because I can't see cops coming into a faith-based organization and pulling you or that fucking child out of what they would call a church or a temple or a mosque or a synagogue. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever happened in U.S. history. And if it did, and it got out to the public that somebody came into a church and dragged some woman out with a baby, I don't know how this country wouldn't explode.
That happened in Chicago about a year ago. That some immigrant lady was hiding out in a church, and that's exactly what happened. The cops would not go in, and they actually talked through the priest and finally brought her out. But yeah, you're right that they don't go in there.
They won't go in. They will convince the lady. Look, the church people will try to convince the lady. Look, work with the authorities. It's one of those render to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Yeah.
They'll convince you render upon Caesar's what is Caesar's. That they will try to convince you of that. But like I said, with that lady, it was like she's like, and I exploded her on my show. I said to her, did you go to the church and ask for help? It's like, no, I made something. Oh, her sister said, no, the church rejected her. The church denied her. The church denied her. I said, bullshit. The church didn't deny her. She said, oh, yes, they did. I said, no, they didn't. He said, oh, yes, they did. I said, look, my sister went out to the Bay Area, and she realized it was going to be like $2,000 a month for a little tiny cubicle called an apartment. So my sister had no place to go with a little dog and her daughter. And said, well, use your old Catholic fucking card, pull that out of your fucking back pocket and throw it on a table. And as soon as she did, they gave her a place to stay. And the same thing happened when she went to Virginia Beach. It's expensive as hell to live there. So she went there and didn't have enough money to secure an apartment with her dog and all this other shit. So the Catholic Church gave her a place to stay again. Gave her a set of keys and said, here you go. I said, the Catholic Church, they're the number one healthcare provider in the world. I said, people don't realize that, that they got deep, deep pockets. And as long as you go talk to nuns, you know what? That's all these nuns live for. They help with a kid.
Yep, that's right.
They think they're doing God's work, which God bless them, they are. So, like I said, I said they'll provide you legal aid, lawful aid. They'll provide you fucking people who know how to talk for you to state and government officials. You might not be able to do it, but believe me, they'll find somebody who could calm the state government officials down. They'll get somebody up there to talk for you. So, so what was funny is when her sister said, no, the state denied it, the church denied it. I said, bullshit. And then when she came on, she said, well, you could ask my sister. My sister's walking through the door right now. And her sister said, she got on. I said, the church denied you? She said, yes. I said, so you went down to your local church? She said, no. But I called up 3 churches. I said, Gus, get this fucking woman off my show. I said, look, just get her off my show. I said, look, if you people won't do what I tell you to do, it's like dealing with a wife or kids or whatever. Like, you had it up to here. Like, I'm done. I explained it to this woman exactly. I talked to her for hours. I mean, effing hours. Like, I got to move out of this fucking place. I got to get some money up so I can build a storage shed on my folks' farm to get all this crap over my folks' farm because the landlord's brother didn't like the people I was bringing up here. So they asked me to leave. And that's what I told people. You can't come up here. And people thinking like, well, look, you can't come up here. It's not my place. If they see you coming up the road, and like I said, especially I knew he didn't like black people, you're not coming up here. So the people come and understand. It's like, look, stay in town, get a motel, and I'll come up.
Yeah.
Well, somebody came up here, and his wife and kids were black, and I didn't know. And I realized, holy shit, if anybody says something, you know, it's going to go around this fucking street like lightning, you know, I don't need this crap. And a couple of days later, they said, you know, we're going to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I understand. And, you know, it's their property, you know. And like I said, look, I'll get out of here as soon as I can. You know, I'll bring my stuff up to my folks' farm. I'm going to build a little storage unit up there, and I'll get my stuff. And I said, you know what? It gives me an opportunity to get on the road anyway. You know, all my stuff will be safe and secure in my folks' farm. My brother will watch it, you know. Like, you know,
right.
We watch it for me. It'll be fine. They said, you know what? It's probably working out for the best that I leave this place and get on the road anyway. Because a lot of people ask me to travel all over. I said, you know what? It's probably going to work out for the best. Because I haven't done any wrong. And if I'm living next to a guy who's that, like, racist or whatever, it's time for me to... and I want to bring people here. Next guys that might come up here might be tutti fruity fucking flaming fags. You know, but if they need my help, I'll say, you know what, you come on up here. Like when I get my own place, if they want to come, or like say some crazy fucking bikers from Canada want to come up here. And I say, look, you can't bring your motorcycles up here. Why not? It's not my place. You can't do it.
Yeah.
They're old fucking, you know, redneck white people. You know, the cops are afraid to come up here.
Well, there's a lot of people. You're right. A lot of people.
I was already told by the sheriff's department if I need help, don't bother 911 because we ain't coming. They said we ain't coming. A lot of people don't know. They said we ain't coming. It's outside the mountain. It ain't going to happen. We ain't going to do it. You got to figure it out with your neighbors yourself because we ain't doing it.
Yep.
So it's like people have been here 300-400 years and it's their law, it's their land, and don't you fucking think you come in here and tell them what to do? They ain't playing that game.
That's right.
What was funny is I asked Mike in Ontario there, and he was writing the letters for the lady. So whatever happened with that Guyana lady?
She got a letter saying that the Department of Children and Families voluntarily dismissed their case.
Okay. The big thing, that was wonderful, like I said, and everybody's going to be like, yay, they did that. Whatever happened with the church?
I'm not sure if she got baptized, but when she went to the church, they told her they would give her an apartment and told her that they have a man that knows law and that he would talk to Department of Children and Families and find out what's going on.
Okay.
But I don't know if she ever followed up on that.
Yeah, thank you, because this is what I'm trying to explain to you. You know, like your paperwork and everything, you're doing fantastic. All this other stuff you're doing is fantastic. What people like you are doing by aiding and assisting this lady further with the letters and letters going back and forth is you're undermining what I'm trying to accomplish. What I'm trying to accomplish is I'm trying to get people to join together as a community in faith-based organizations, because that's the only way that's going to protect you people from the secular governments. So this lady might get sloppy and lazy, and she might not join the church now, and she might not baptize this kid, and she might not go to the church every week. Because what's going to happen when she goes to church every week, she's going to find like-minded individuals like you and me, and she's going to get together in community. And she's going to tell her horror story, and then she's going to say, hey, another lady at the church, her granddaughter's going through right now. So now this lady, Guyana lady, could go talk to that other lady who's Jamaican or Scandinavian or whatever the hell. And she's going to be able to promote this shit throughout the community. But now she just goes home and says, whew, I got out of that one. What do you think this lady who's on welfare, kicking back on a government check her whole life, what do you think she's going to do to promote this stuff? Nothing. Not a effing thing. She's going to go back and watch Wheel of Fortune and Price is Right all day. And guess what's going to happen? The government's going to say to her, oh, well, we're going to have to deny you food stamps and Medicaid and blah, 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 and your kid can't get this and can't get that because we see she's not vaccinated, and we're going to need you to bring the baby down here, and we're going to have to examine the kid if you want food stamps. So now the lady doesn't have the Catholic Church to rely upon, or I don't care if she was a voodoo fucking, person. I don't give a damn if she was a pagan. I don't give a damn. As long as there was a community of like-minded individuals in which she could fucking congregate with. Like Congress, that's what it is. We're going to congregate and we're going to act together as an organization to protect and secure each other's properties and secure each other's rights. We're going to do this for each other. We're going to get together. Because what's happening is the government is giving people like her fucking free rides, free checks, free welfare, free everything. She's not getting together as a community. And when I noticed that down in Birmingham, Alabama, when these women were getting their kids taken away from them, the other women didn't jump up in arms and say, we're going to protect you. Now, if they belong to a Southern Baptist community or something, sure. But no, all these women were living in Section 8 housing, and as far as they were concerned, they were all living on welfare checks, smoking, drinking, doing crack, whatever, walking around the streets all hours of the night. They didn't give a rat's behind. They were on this shit for generations. But nobody was together as a group. There was nothing other than secular. There was no fucking faith-based organization. There was no belief of a higher deity or God or something you had to answer to. So this is what I'm trying to say. I was working this lady up to a pattern to say, look, go get that child baptized. Well, if you do voodoo, go get it. Go get a needle stuck through its nose. I don't give a shit. Whatever the fuck you people do, but get together with like-minded individuals that are going to back you up. Because Karl Lentz and the people who write letters to you might not be there for you when you need it. You're going to have to find localized people, like-minded individuals that are going to help and protect and secure your rights. We're not always going to be there for you, lady. So if they take your kid and lock you up and put you in jail, how are you going to get in contact with us? You're not. How are you going to get the message out to the local people outside in your community? They're not going to hear you because you never became an active member of their society. Because this is one of the first things I told you when you first called it like a year ago, whatever, and I guarantee you're furious. I said, no. I said the community shouldn't help you get back your fucking kid because you do nothing for the society. You do nothing for your community. You don't wash fire trucks. You don't join the police auxiliary. You don't join any Christian fucking club. Are you a member of the fucking, Kiwanis Club, Elks Club, Moose Lodge? No, you do your 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You take your money, go home, and play video games all day. Why should anybody in the community give a shit if you ever get your fucking kid? They don't, and they shouldn't. But if you bring a whole bunch of fucking people that testify and on your behalf, say he's a good man, he should have this kid because you know what? He comes down and he fucking teaches the youth organization baseball or soccer or football. He comes down and helps with band camp. He comes down and fucking rakes the leaves at the parks for the kids. He really wants to be fucking, not only does he cares about his kid, he cares about everybody's kid. This guy's a really good guy. He comes and polishes the swings, the slides, whatever. He cleans up the park, picks up the trash on the weekends. We see this guy all the time. He's a great dad. He's a great man. He should have his kid, and we should help him get back his kid. He helps everybody else's kid. We should help him. That kind of crap. Because it really looks good. If you ever watch any legal law movie from the past, they always say, do you have any character witnesses to testify on your behalf? I don't see anybody calling character witnesses anymore to testify on their behalf. I don't see somebody who's smoking crack or smoking pot or say cultivating pot. There you go, because I know there's a shitload of cultivating potheads listening to my show right now. Do you have any character witnesses that you brought into court to say what a good man you are? What a hard-working individual, what a fucking credit to society you are? No. So why not? Because you don't have none. Why? Because it's all been about you your whole fucking life. That's why. You never built up a character. You're an army of fucking one. You got nobody to testify what a wonderful human being, and why it would be a detriment to society if you get locked away or you don't get your kid. Why it would harm the kid if you don't get your kid? You say, well, if I don't get my kid, man, the kid will be without a dad. And it's like, yeah, okay, and so what? There's lots of kids without dad. So what? Tell us what makes you fucking so special. Well, I'm so special. Okay, you got anybody to verify and testify to that? Well, no. Anybody ever see this guy do the shit? No. Well, you know what? Your word doesn't mean shit then. Your word means as much as hers, nothing. So you got to stack the cards. You got to stack the table to your side. And that's what I was trying to get this Guyana lady to understand. Yes, you might get a letter from the state. Yes, Karl, tremendous victory. Yes, they dismissed this voluntarily. Yeah, big shit. For today, for this week, for this month, for this year, what are they going to do to it next year? What are they going to do in 5 years from now? What are they going to do in 10 years from now? What are they going to do on a kid's 17th birthday? You don't know. But if she builds a like-minded community, if she goes into the church, whether it's voodoo, pagan, Wicca, Catholic, she's going to tell the story to all these other women. The other women who would never find this information and never hear this from this show. She's going to go out to the community and spread it to like-minded women and say, holy shit, that's great. How do we stop these fuckers? This is how we do it. So that's all I was trying to do. You know, like I said, it's nice that you write letters. It's nice that you help people. But if you don't see the whole picture, what I'm trying to do with, like, say, one person individually, like this Guyana lady, you got to understand. Another lady I might not do that with. Another lady might not say, you know what, you need to go baptize the kid because she already told me she is a member of a church, or she has standing in her community. She's a volunteer nurse, or she works for the 4-H club, or she's a part of the Red Cross. I'll say, okay, you're part of an organization. Yeah, okay, well, then you know what? That's fine. You got people who testify on your behalf for your character. Yeah, okay, well, good. Well, you know what? We don't have to fucking do that shit. And I can just bypass that. But with that piano lady, it's like, no, you must do this next. Now, I'm fairly sure she's sloppy and lazy and has no desire to fucking become a part of a church whatsoever. I can almost guarantee it she didn't do it.
And you're right. She doesn't realize the benefit of having, for instance, a nun to come up and testify.
Oh, fuck
yeah.
You know what that would be? Yeah. You know what that would be if she brought the fucking, if she went to, the seminary or fucking, if she brought all the fucking nuns up there. She said, yeah, not only does she take care of the grandbaby because she's on welfare and it's got not a fucking thing to do 24/7, 365, she volunteers and helps the other 17 fucking babies that are up here with us. She's dynamite. She's called Granny by 17 fucking kids. There you go. Now, how's the state going to rack that up against her? They're going to be fucked. Right.
Exactly.
So see, this is what I'm saying. I try to get people to understand my strategy of like how I try to build something, but everybody's unique and everybody's different. So when I'm trying to help somebody, it's like, look, you must do this, and don't nobody fucking help her until she comes back on and says she did this. If she did this, then we're going to fucking continue. If she doesn't do this, fuck her, because we're wasting our time. Because eventually she's going to lose. Eventually they're going to take it away, and she doesn't know what to do. Then she's going to write another fucking letter. Too bad, too late. The kid's gone. Try to get it out. You're screwed. It ain't going to happen.
And what she probably doesn't realize is the experience, the hands-on experience that you just gave her while there's police officers at the door and you're talking through her to them and they leave. I mean, how many people have ever had that happen to them ever? Never. So
well, what I'm saying is,
to me, was so huge.
Right, but she's not devoted to learning and the mastery of this. She's going to forget what we told her to do. Right. She's going to get lazy and just fall back. And the next time, cop's going to do, I got rights, and I got the Constitution, and I'm a woman, and you can't do that. And no, you can't come in. I didn't say she couldn't come in. I didn't tell you them they couldn't come in. They can come in with a bond. Exactly. You're more welcome to come in. Just come with the fucking bond, and the door's open. As soon as you got that bond, the bond's the magic key, and it unlocks that fucking door. Come on in.
Yep.
Until that time, I'm going to have to fucking, I'm going to have to, require that as a form of admission. Other than that, I'm sorry. But you're more than welcome once you do that. Come on in. Break my lamp. Burn the house down to the ground. Do whatever you want. Drop the kid. Break his neck. I don't give a fuck, but come in with a bond. And I'll tell you how much that bond's worth. And I'll secure that bond in a fucking location that you'll never find. And I'm going to make sure that bond is a fucking bona fide, legitimate bond. And then you could fucking enter.
And that's one of the things that you were saying about the bond was taking it and putting it to somebody secure. You're right. The second, if they ever did bring the bond and you did that, they would be scared shitless, wondering, oh my gosh, are we ever going to get that back? No, I can't believe we gave it to him. No, it's in his, it's in his control. We might never see that money again. Why would we ever give it out? Why would we ever do that? So you're right. That power right there. I'll do whatever you want. That's one of the things I want to tell a judge.
How simple it is for me to relate to that. It's like any drug deal I seen to go down, like in New York when I was a kid. Guy comes in with a briefcase full of cash. Guy comes with the drugs. The guy with either the briefcase of coke or the cash shoots and kills the other guy, picks up both cases, walks out the door.
Yep.
It's that simple. Yep. Just because they gave you the bag of money, just because they gave you the bond, they pick up the kid. They're going to fucking still pick up the kid, pick up you, and pick up the money and go home. Pick up the bond and go home. Go back to the station. And you're going to say, well, you gave me the bond. What bond? What are you talking about? I never gave you no bond. Well, yeah, I gave you, supposed to like that silly commercial. You see, Jeannie comes and says, what do you want? And the guy wishes, I said, I wish for $1 million up here. Dia.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I'm like, okay, coming with a bond. Came with a bond, came to the bond, took the fucking kid and left, and took the bond. It's like, well, yeah, I gave you the bond, but you didn't say how long you wanted it. Did we come with the bond? Yeah, we gave you. We came in. See, bond. There's a bond. We came in. Now give us. Now we'll take you and take the kid and gone. Wait a second. It's like, look, you said just come in with the bond. We came in with the bond. You didn't tell us to turn it over to you.
Right.
You can just come in with the bond.
To you. Yep. Exactly.
That's right. Here's a bond.
Yep.
Did you tell us to relinquish custody of it? No, you didn't ask us to do that.
And that's one of the things, like you were saying. Listen to your calls. You give the explanation. Do it this procedure. You'll be fine. Don't vary from it. Don't add to it. Don't throw rod classes stuff on top of it, and you'll be fine. But the second you vary from it, they're going to jump on you, and who knows what they'll do after you open the door or whatever.
Well, that's why I love doing live seminars, because I say, make sure the cop comes in the door, you get the bond. Then somebody says to me, what about the bond? I say, oh, yeah, you know what? That's a great point. Let me bring it into greater detail. How do you, now he comes in with the bond, secure the bond, obtain custody of the bond, transfer the bond to a remote location, a secured location, so they can't fucking pull it back. And I said to somebody in the crowd, that was a great question. Thank you. Because you know what? I know exactly what to do when they come with the bond. That's right, because there's 10 more steps to that, but I know how to do the 10 steps, and it comes so easy and quick and natural to me. I forgot. You fuckers have no clue. Because these clowns will actually come in with the bond, say, see bond, now you come with us. Haha.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, holy shit, did you forget to secure the fucking bond? Did you forget to fucking make sure the bond was in a fucking location in which it was secure that they could not fucking, retain the custody of it?